Ivory, it's all downhill from here, little buddy.
It was downhill before we started.
This season on Rust Valley Restores.
This year, it's gonna be difficult. I've sold the Field of Dreams, sold 500 cars. Now I have more money than I have time. I'm picking the builds that mean the most to me. It's bucket list time.
What's the budget?
100 grand.
Oh, it's a damn good start.
This could be the start of a new epic journey of easiness.
That's never happened in the history of us ever doing anything.
I mean, if I'm gonna live the dream, I'm going out with a bang. Fire! Hey! But things are still going left, right, and center.
Stop. You're off the wheel.
Mike, stop! We're out of space. Like, we're not running out of space, we are out of space. And Mike keeps dragging stuff home.
Out of sight, out of mind. Kind of blends right in.
Mike, are you back buying cars again?
You can't tell Connor.
He's got a 2 to 3 car habit a month. You're an idiot. Unfortunately, I have the same problem. Hey, Mike, how does it handle?
Great, better than my Chevelle.
Got $1,500 worth of fines the other day. It all has to go. Mike, I need to sell that junk so I can buy some more junk. I've been challenged with some fairly big builds. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Look at these itty-bitty pedals. I'm gonna start with some mini builds. Is it worth it?
Well, the brakes weren't good, eh?
Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3, go!
I hate you, Mike!
This junk is what we do. You look like you got a bit of stuff here in the yard. It's in our blood, and it will never stop. Ready?
Yep.
I know there's people that are as screwed up as me out there.
I've been dreaming about it for years.
It just doesn't get easier. It's gonna be hard, but there comes a time in your life when you've got to do what you know you got to do. I love them all. The world is changing rapidly. I see the end coming for these cars. It's time to finish the dream. My name is Mike Hall, and over the last 50... Right. Look, Blair's here. Excellent.
It's the first day of the restoration season at the Rust Bros shop.
I wonder if he's lost his mind already.
And Mike's lined up a meeting with his lead body man, Blair Smith.
Son of a... Look at all this freaking crap. Where do you even start?
Blair!
Yeah,
Blair's not clean yet.
I was gonna say good to see you, but I don't know.
How's it going, bud? Can't believe we're about to do this for the 5th year in a row.
You said the shop needed a little bit of tidying up. You were being a bit reckless with the truth, man.
I cause a lot of chaos, but this year, Blair's gonna be shop manager as well as body work.
Look at the workbenches over there, man. What is this stuff?
Well, I don't want to throw them out.
Why? We got so much crap you're saving just in case.
Yes. It should be way more efficient, because you can call this spring cleanup. Storage is an issue, always has been.
You don't have the other property anymore.
I know.
I don't even know where to start.
We'll start at that end and work our way towards freedom. I mean, this year it's gonna be difficult. We don't have the Field of Dreams. This one has a little bit of space, I think.
It's full, man.
Containers, sea cans, shop, cars, trunks, you name it, I got piled up. It's out of control.
Oh, no, man. What happened?
Door number 3.
No.
Basically, I've run out of room.
We got a ton of stuff to move, man.
I know. We do have a good neighbor that's let us use some of their property. Even though I sold 500 last year, I'm back up to 100 cars. Gotta get to this one this year, buddy. Kept what I think are the cream of the crop. I'd like to bring some back.
What's this? This is the new one?
71 big block.
Yeah, and you needed one.
Like a hole in the head. Unfortunately, I'm still buying cars. The sickness continues. Like I like to say, though, hope springs eternal. Hey, Cass, good to see you. This year, I'm gonna take the lessons from the last 4 years and put them into practice. Get over here, guys, and have a little chit-chat. If I can maintain my overhead, pick better vehicles, stay on path with the dream and the vision, not get carried away, there's no reason things shouldn't go way smoother. This year, we're gonna have no stress. We're gonna have some easy builds.
Are we taking bets on it?
No bets, but we're gonna play this silly game one more time. Well, right on, Abe. Glad you can give me a hand, bud. I still got to get the yard cleaned out. I got 20 more loads.
The next morning, Mike's recruited Avery to help him move equipment.
We don't have the Field of Dreams, so I need a place to store stuff. Where are you gonna put it? We're renting this yard here. These are all of my sea cans. Luckily, our buddy Kelly has a little compound. We're gonna rent it off him. Hopefully it's gonna work out.
You should have this cluttered in about the afternoon.
I know.
I think Mike's off in fantasy dreamland. Rented a yard. It's already beginning to fill it full of... this cat teach an old dog new tricks.
Let's go back, grab another load.
Okay.
Hey,
I know what that is.
me too. It's a convertible Scout.
Well, it's kind of a convertible Scout. It's the
yeah.
truck version. It's even rarer. I should buy that.
No, I saw it first.
I don't care.
I've always liked Scouts. I had a couple of the first gens when I was a kid. Hey, just wait for me.
No.
Basically, Avery would steal candy from a baby. I saw it first. I want that Scout.
Hey,
What?
whose is this?
It's customers of mine.
Does he want to get rid of it?
He does, yeah.
What do you think he wants for it?
He's talking like $5 grand.
That's it.
Kelly, don't talk to that guy.
Too late, Mike. I bought it for $5
No,
grand.
you didn't. Kelly, ask him if he's got the cash on him.
You got the cash?
No, I'm going to get it.
I do. Who do you want to sell it to? Gums flap, cash talks. Luckily, I happen to have some jingle in my pocket. What's the deal on it, Kelly? 5K?
$5 grand,
That
yeah.
seems fair. I mean, what's wrong with it? What's it doing here?
Doing brakes and U
That's
joints.
it?
Yeah.
Check it out. Scouts were made by a company called International. They got their start building tractors. Kelly, what is that? 304?
345.
345. Good engine. They're simple, rugged, original gas cap, I bet. They're an iconic American 4x.
International Harvesters tractors paved the way for its groundbreaking 1961 Scout, the first modern SUV. A decade later, the Scout 2 was launched with the weekend warrior in mind. With its narrow body and generous cargo room, the Scout could outmaneuver the competition and keep the adventure going.
You want to know something? I haven't seen one of these in this good a shape. I don't think ever. But you're going back down a slippery slope, Mike.
Mike, you should look after the cars that he has.
Avery, I sold 500 cars, and I still haven't even touched any of the money. I haven't touched none of it. Even though I'm not supposed to buy any cars, I do have the ability right now to purchase a couple select pieces. Kelly, done deal.
All right.
Hey, man, when opportunity knocks, open the door. It's going to be a simple build, and I think there's going to be some bucks at the end for me. 50.
All right.
Okay, man?
All right.
Thanks for saving me the money.
Let's get out of here.
All right.
Thanks, Cal. Here we have it, guys, for your viewing pleasure.
A few hours later,
Here's our first victim,
Mike showing his crew their first build of the season.
1971 Scout 2. It's just gonna be like a little cruiser, minimal cost, but these things are bringing a good buck. My vision for the Scout is a Sunday cruiser. Take the top off, make it look like a Jeep. We'll put the roll cage, maybe a nice pastel color. We'll probably get 40, 50 grand out of it.
What does it need mechanical-wise?
Runs and drives, all the brakes are done, diff's been checked out, right? We're gonna try and get back to basics this year. That means pick better cars and don't go over the top. It can't be that hard. I have not found any rust holes on the body.
This Scout, it looks good on the outside. I'll give my old man that. Give me your knife.
What?
Let me poke at that.
Hey,
Yeah,
should I get my hammer?
Get the pointy one.
Blair.
The pointy one, Blair. Hopefully this isn't one of his metallic hallucination builds that ends up costing us an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Okay. Is it a deck?
It's an inch deep, man. What does that mean about the rest of the freaking
yeah, but-
side? Mike walks up to a vehicle and he's always the optimist. Rest free.
Well, it was until we looked.
This was a 3 dressed up as a 9. We got some work to do.
Cheers to a fresh start.
Anyway, every time we start a build, everybody just poo-poos it. I mean, negative, negative, negative. I don't care. I have a dream, I have a vision, I know it's gonna work this year, and I'm the one signing the checks. My way or the friggin' highway. Beautiful.
And so it starts. Man, there's still a lot of stuff to get rid of.
The next day,
We gotta get a trailer in here after.
Connor's dealing with an overflow parking lot that's overflowing.
Hold up. So we've got a bunch of cars that my old man has kept from the auction and a bunch that he's bought since then. Like, we're not running out of space, we are out of space.
Hey. Hey, Connor, how you doing?
Good, yourself?
Doing well, sir.
Sorry, my hands are a little dirty.
No worries.
Terry Sulfur works for the church that backs onto the Rust Brothers property.
Mike around?
He's not.
Okay, just wanted to stop in. Maybe you can give him a message for us.
Yeah.
So we met as a board for the church and decided that we need to redo the septic field that's up there.
Okay.
And so they've decided to give you guys 6 months to get the cars moved out. Hopefully that'll work.
Well, we've had this churchyard for years now, and they did tell us that eventually they would need it back. We just weren't expecting it to be this soon.
Yeah.
So pretty much everything on the other side of the fence has got to go.
Everything on that side of the fence, yeah.
Oof. I don't know what we're gonna do with 70 cars that are out there. The time it would take to build all these cars, that's probably not even in my lifetime.
What's up, Connor?
I just had a nice little talk with Terry from the church. He gave us some timelines as to when they got to get the yard back.
What do you mean timelines?
We have 6 months, and that's it.
Are you kidding me? 6 months?
No, that's it. What are we gonna do with all of them?
Well,
I bet there's like 60 cars here.
okay, well, it's not so bad.
Quit lying to yourself. Like, I'm looking at another Camaro. No front clip, no diffs. I'm looking at this tub of whatever the hell this is. There's like 5 Fireflies back here. Like,
Okay, those are sacred. They're leaking. It's going up. It's going up. It's alive.
At Rust Bros, Mike's breathing new life into a 1964 Mercury Meteor.
Oh, look who's here. The Bobbsey twins.
He's asked his brothers Kevin and Rob
Hey, guys.
to help him tackle it.
Hey, Mikey. Wow, it's been a long time.
I know. The 64 Merc was my dad's car. My dad died 30 years ago, and my mom gave me the car. Now I'm actually getting around to the bucket list of builds. It's time.
This is the first car I did 100 miles an hour in.
We all remember Dad. We all remember the car, and I think it's going to be a pretty cool family heirloom.
Sure looks a lot worse than when I remember it.
Oh, yeah, it's taken a beating. The car's way too rotten to bring back, but I was always going to do something with that motor.
If I remember correctly, this was not just a 390, but it was supposed to be the police interceptor.
Except a solid lifter, high
Yeah.
perf, yes.
Yeah.
Bigger pipes. My dad loved that car. He put his foot to it and that car went. Man, that thing would kick you back in the seat and you'd take off.
So what I was thinking, I'd like to take this motor
Yeah?
and put it in something. So we saved the heart and lungs.
That's pretty cool.
What are you thinking? What do you
I
got?
was thinking of 66 Ford,
Yeah?
short box, mounted on a newer Ford chassis with disc brakes, 3/4 ton.
Look at this. This is the one.
This is a 65 Merc.
This is a beauty, dude.
This one does have really cool doors.
Well, there's no comparison to the two trucks for cool factor.
But this one's way more work.
Yeah, thanks for the input. This Mercury long box, it's a much cooler vehicle. It's got neater lines, better chrome.
Look at the line. Look at the line. This is the one. And it's a Mercury motor, man. Put it in the right vehicle, bro.
Okay, you talked me right into it. That's all in the future. Right now, let's deal with the present, get the motor and tranny.
Yeah,
out.
let's do that.
Okay, we'll get her on the operating table. A heart and lung transplant. Why did I not hide the Merc? What was I thinking? My brothers don't like the Ford. They seem to like the Merc, so we're gonna do our best. Yeah, let's get that hood off. The first step in the process, get the motor out, get it to the machine shop.
You gonna try to pull the motor and tranny together, Mike?
Yeah, take the rod and the fan out, it should fit.
Give me a 7/16. I'll pull that off.
Okay, here's a 3/8 ratchet. You should have a 7/16.
Between the three of us, Kev is the organized one. No, it should all just pull off, Rob, when you take those 4 bolts. But brother Rob is more of a musician
Oh, I'm hating this.
than he ever will be a mechanic. Rob, you should play us a tune.
On what?
On the Mercury guitar that Bill built out of the hubcap off Dad's car. As a tribute to my father, my friend Bill said, Mike, I want to build you a guitar out of a hubcap off your dad's car. Look at that.
Wow.
I haven't heard anybody play it since the day Bill gave it to me.
See what it does.
Well, that thing sounds sick.
Oh, this is great.
My dad was a special guy. He would give you the shirt off his back. I think we all inherited a part of our good nature and our willingness to help people from my dad and my mom.
What's the matter, Mike? This is making you cry.
All you guys got all your musical talent from who?
Yes, we did.
That's right.
Every last little bit.
It's like my dad is coming through and his car is actually serenading us. I know wherever the old man is, he's smiling. Okay, motor mount bolts, Kev. Dad was a pretty practical guy. He's probably going, you guys are nuts. Okay, I think we're ready, but we're also doing it for us. We're taking the best parts out of the car,
Okay, slowly, Mike.
and my dad's memory is gonna live on through those parts.
Backwards.
We're gonna rebuild the motor to about 400 horse,
Hey.
and I think it's gonna be sick. Voila, teamwork.
While Mike's pursuing his Mercury Passion project, Blair's been busy with Scout bodywork.
Where the frig's the broom? You know, Blair, you sweep up like I do dishes.
Wow.
Sarah, how goes our part hunt?
Going as expected.
Scout parts are hard to find because they never built many of them.
Yeah, and of course we're building the crossover year, like halfway through 71, they started doing different stuff.
And because the Field of Dreams is gone, we're not going to be able to pull parts from it.
Seat, back seat.
But I've got contacts. If I need something, I will find it.
So if I make you a list, I can trust you to go?
No. I can check your list.
What exactly are we doing here, Mike?
We are going to look for some Scout parts.
A few hours later, Mike's roped Avery into a buying trip.
See, look, Abe, nothing but Scouts and Internationals.
Wow.
They're visiting a collector specializing in international harvester vehicles.
Hey,
You must be Rod.
I'm Rod.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good.
Mike,
Mike,
I'm glad to meet you. How long have you been an international freak, Rod?
I've been a freak internationally for about 40 years.
Real? That's cool. It's like winning the lottery. I mean, there's lots of Dodge guys, Chevy guys, Ford guys, but to find a Scout guy, amazing. Basically, we're doing for a client a 71.
Okay, Scout 2.
Scout 2, yes. We're looking for a bunch of trinkets.
Okay, I can give you a little tour here if you want.
Yeah, let's just look. Even though we're there for parts, if somebody's got their own Field of Dreams, I gotta go for a wander. You never know what you're gonna find.
These are all early Scouts here.
Look how good a shape this thing's in, Mike.
Rear four-door, it's called a Travelette.
Really?
That's
And
ridiculous.
it's a 4-speed.
I've never seen more pieces. It's pretty neat. There's some really rare stuff here.
Scout SS2. It's got the V8 in it.
Wow, cool.
But you know what? I'm a little bit worried.
301 diesel. Super rare.
Mike, he cannot contain himself around this many vehicles.
Let's go look at the 2 here. Ooh, that looks like the one I got.
Two-wheel drive.
2-wheel drive.
It's a Terra, the pickup.
Cool. There off in the corner is something I have never seen. A long wheelbase, 2-wheel drive, 4-speed Scout with a convertible top. This is the one I should have.
Mike, we're here for parts.
Look, there's the steering wheel we need. There's the horn ring. We might have to restore 2 at once. Like this thing would be sick.
It's all over.
$2 grand right now, cash.
Bye-bye.
Really?
Yep.
Mike,
Okay, I'll do that. There is no better feeling in my world than buying something that's cool. I bought a Scout. It's like being a bird watcher. There's on your list of birds you've never seen, and boom, you click one off. Okay, thanks, Rod.
Bye-bye.
what are you doing?
Hey, I'm so happy. So, Abe,
What?
Connor's on his way out. We gotta get these things unloaded. Where are we gonna hide them? We're running out of room.
Since buying Rod's Scout a few days ago,
Did you not know you bought these?
No.
Mike's picked up a couple more.
Watch it, they're tight. Serendipitously, another buddy of mine had a couple. I don't know where I'm gonna put them, but we do have enough parts to do this build.
Hey,
What?
the prodigal child's here. You're in trouble now.
Tighten it back, Dave. Tighten it down. Tighten it down. We'll say it's not mine.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Michael,
What?
we just sold 472 cars. Why is there 2 more here?
A friend paid us to haul them here for him.
Michael,
I didn't start.
you're so full of
No. Scout's honor.
Scouts honor, eh?
Mike has officially been busted.
What are we gonna do with 2 more
Connor,
scouts?
you missed one. 3rd one behind.
No. Why do we need 3 scouts?
But if there's anybody that can rein Mike in, it's not Connor.
Where are we putting 3 scouts? Not 1, not 2, 3.
I've been under pressure from my kid to stop buying cars for the last 10 years, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay, so here's a question. You bought 3 scouts. Do we at least have all the parts we need to finish the 1 scout we're trying to build?
Almost.
Oh, no.
Like we're this close.
At Rust Bros, Mike's vision for the 71 Scout is starting to come together.
Hey guys,
Hey, man.
what's happening with the Scout?
There's a front bumper. We still got to get a back bumper.
I think one was pretty solid, wasn't it? On one of the Scouts we got for parts?
Yes. You just need to modify it to fit on this thing.
Let's look at the rest of it. This is the first build of the year. This one's supposed to be easy, supposed to be quick. That is lovely.
Isn't it?
Soft green. I think it pops. I think it works. Some people could say I'm taking a chance. Okay, there's a deadline. A month from now.
That's 20 working days.
Yeah.
Right?
I've set a deadline on this build. I want to see it met. We need the cash flow. Well, pitter patter. Quit talking, start walking. Let's go.
Down a bit.
While work continues on the Scout,
Yep, pull in.
Connor and Mike inspect the 65 Merc long box that his dad's engine is destined for.
That's good right there.
Okay. My brothers, they really like the Merc, so we're gonna pick it up, crawl under it, and give it a real good assessment of what has to be done.
Okay. Well, golly. The body mounts are gone. The floors are gone.
Oh, wow, look back there.
Oh, the box is gone. Like, there's not a truck here worth building. Whole rad sport's rotted out of it.
Jesus. I can't bury us with another project. We've got to start with something that's worth doing. What am I gonna tell Uncle Kev?
You're gonna tell him that there is not a snowball's chance in hell we can build this thing.
Well, Connor, it's got to go in something. I've already committed to spend $5,000 to turn this engine into a fire-breathing Ford Dragon.
What else do we have for Fords? What about the Mach 1s?
Sold them both.
Okay.
We've just got to find something that's worthy of my dad's memory and this engine. That's what we have that's a Ford. Baby bird. That deserves Dad's motor. I'm almost crying just thinking about it. There, with the sunlight glinting off, the faded fiberglass top is the 55 T-Bird screaming out in a very quiet voice, "Pick me, pick me."
Introduced in 1955, the Thunderbird was Ford's first ever sports car. This sleek two-seat convertible was designed to maximize fun with a factory V8 and Ford's only 150-mile-per-hour speedometer. Luxury stylings like power seats and a telescopic steering wheel made the T-Bird a top seller to drivers who valued comfort as much as performance.
Look at that car. We are gonna give this bird back its wings. I think it's cool.
How much money do you want to spend?
40 grand.
This thing would be fun with a 390 stuffed in it because it's not a big car and it would probably go like snot.
Is this not cooler than the truck?
This is cooler than the truck.
Like, can you imagine 400 horse? Wow. I like it, okay. My apologies to the Merc truck fans. I'll take the bird any day. But I don't know if Kevin will be disappointed if we change course. He likes the Merc. Brother Kev.
Brother Mike, what's up?
Well, we just dragged the old 65 Merc onto the slab, and we come to a rather tragic conclusion.
Which is?
It is roached, man. That truck does not deserve Dad's motor.
Okay.
But
There's a butt.
But
we did find something that we think would be suitable,
And our butts are in it right now.
and our butts are in it right now.
sorry, what are we talking about?
The baby bird.
55.
It's a way better home for Dad's motor.
Fair enough. I think Dad would appreciate that. I mean, if the Mercury is that far.
It's bad.
It's bad, Kev. I think this is way cooler.
Yeah, man.
And when you and me go for the test drive, you can drive.
Okay.
Okay, love you, bro.
See you guys later.
This thing's gonna be sick. I'm gonna start ordering parts.
Of course you are.
Let's get the other side. Up and away.
Mike and Connor get right to work to see if the T-Bird can manage a larger, more powerful engine.
Look how much room there is up here. No matter where the tranny's gonna mount, you've got something to weld to. Most important thing when you're increasing your horsepower, can your tranny handle it? I don't know about the diff. And can your rear end handle it? I don't think this thing's gonna cut 500 horse.
It's pretty tiny diff.
The differential is what takes the energy of the motor and turns it into the rotational energy of the tires. Google it. 55 T-Bird rear diff. Guaranteed it's not gonna take no 500 horse. What you don't want is to grenade your rear end while you're under heavy acceleration.
Too bad it wasn't a 57.
Why?
Because they came with a 9-inch.
Oh, you know what we've got for this car?
What?
Pretty sure Dad's car had a 9-inch. Let's go take a look. It's right outside here. One of the strongest discs ever made is a Ford 9-inch. It's bulletproof, it's strong. Keep going. Hopefully, it's gonna take the horsepower we're gonna throw at it. Okay, just wait. Let me just see. Okay, it's a 9-inch.
I am not laying under there to cut a diff out. This Meteor is probably one of the most rotten cars I have ever looked at. This side's not even attached. Do we even have to cut it out? Like, it's literally falling in half. There's one side.
Keep going. This ain't gonna take long. This is the first time we picked up a car and the rear end's half fallen out. Oh, Jesus. Keep up the good work. We're almost there. This could be the easiest rear end extraction we've ever done. Hold it. Let me go ahead. I think it's looking for a new home and it's helping us out.
Oh!
Voila! Fixed! victory.
Man.
Hopefully this rear end is actually salvageable, because judging by the rest of the car, it's not.
Well, hey, the diff's not seized.
No, it wanted to come out. It knows it's going to a better place.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sure as hell didn't want to stay in there any longer.
No.
How are you gonna move it now?
I'm gonna show you. Watch out.
Okay, don't lift it too high. Where are you going with it?
Outside the gate.
How much you want to bet that car doesn't fit through this gate?
Get it go.
You're not gonna fit
Now it will.
No, it won't. Stop.
I don't want to be anywhere near my dad in any piece of equipment.
Am I gonna clear? I can't see.
Mike, it's not gonna happen.
Well, then we're going aerial.
Let alone when he's carrying a falling in half car 12 feet in the air.
If you hit Blair's car with that, he's gonna kill you. This is a bad idea.
I just see this going terribly wrong very quickly.
Oh, Jesus. Man, sketchy.
How hard was that? Where's it going?
Figure it out.
Okay, right over there.
Mike!
Oh, what was that? Who parked that there?
Oh, my God.
Oops.
Straighten out.
Man, this is like a textbook Rust Brothers operation. Little minor faux pas, but the car's sitting outside, ready to go to the scrap pile. I think that's good. Beauty. Thanks, Connor.
You got it, Blair?
Yeah, we're good.
At the Rust Bros shop,
Okay, I think we're almost high enough.
bodywork and primer on the 55 Thunderbird are complete.
Roll her in, let's see.
Roll her in, Kev, let's see.
And it's ready to receive its freshly restored Mercury engine.
How we looking there, Blair?
A little more, a little more.
The 390 out of Dad's Merc. It's all brand new, totally rebuilt.
That's just in the perfect spot.
Bodywork's finally done. We got the frame prep.
Okay, now what you're looking at here, see these holes here?
Yep.
They line up with those.
Okay.
Blair and I, we got some motor mounts fabbed out.
Okay, man, we got lots of room.
We'll drop it in. Hopefully everything's gonna fit. Our slow, steady
Whoa,
descent.
whoa, what are we hitting? We're hitting something back here.
Okay, is it riding on the tranny?
Oh,
That seems to be your pivot point.
okay. Right?
Right there, yes. Your end's higher than mine, Blair, I think, is the issue.
The whole tunnel might be too low, eh?
Yeah, you know, maybe I should just cut it right out.
Whoa. We both swore it fit when we did the trial fit, but we had to take it out and do some more work, so something changed.
First, we got to cut out above the transmission here,
Yeah.
through here, come back to here, up high, across the top, and then we'll see if this front corner is gonna hit, right?
Yeah. Basically, we've got to cut out 3 feet of the floor pan of the transmission tunnel to make it fit.
You want to lift it off to cut it, Blair?
Heck no.
Okay, well, just don't stick it through too far. It's 6,000 bucks for the tranny. It's no laughing matter. We need another 1/4 inch of clearance. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah. We don't think the body's gonna fit down onto the frame without cutting out that center transmission tunnel. Hopefully that's gonna give us our clearance. What did you hit? Nothing.
Well, no, of course not.
Nice. You got plenty of room now. Okay, I'm a wiggle away from fitting here.
Okay. It's gonna be close. Okay, well, mine's slack. Are we touching?
Doesn't appear to be.
Well, that ain't bad.
No, I'm shocked and amazed. Man, we're even fitting here on this tight corner.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Lots of
freaking
room.
nice.
We have no more clearance issues. Now we just have a fab issue. We're gonna have to refabricate the tunnel. Yeah, we may as well get the body lifted back up. Or do you need it there
I'll
to
do
take
the-
some measurements?
I'll do the tunnel first.
Yeah. Well, it's there, and then we know everything's gonna clear. Okay, we're crawling towards the finish line. Okay, thanks, bro.
Yep.
Okay, let's grab this puppy and put her in. Which one first, back
I want
seat?
to put the back one in first.
Okay,
An hour later, Mike gets back to the Scout build.
who piled all the up here?
I did. I was working on somebody's car.
There's so many parts sitting here for the builds we're working on, you can't even walk in the shop. The Scout has to get done.
Hey, Shorty.
Richard, let's have a look. Because we've gone with a soft top, we need something to finish it.
This is bang on.
Appreciate it, Richard. Some nice polished oak, gonna give it a touch of class. Okay, let me get underneath. It's a summertime vehicle. It's gotta be done for the summer. That's the market, and we're running out of time. Wow, she's come a long way. It's quite the transformation, but I think it's gonna catch somebody's attention and hope they're gonna open their wallet up. We'll see what happens. Blair!
Hey, man.
Where's the Scout?
I had to put it up top.
Sitting out in the dust bowl.
There's no freaking room in the shop here if we want to get any work done.
We've got a lot of time and money invested in this car. I just don't want it sitting out in the elements. Okay, well, I'm gonna go send Connor a bunch of pics. The thing's getting listed now.
Okay, great.
Yeah, good luck, I know.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Blair. We've got to get on it. This thing has to sell now.
Yo.
Hey, what pictures do we need from the Scout to post it?
Couple interior, couple exterior, maybe under the hood.
I'm on it. Send him pictures. He posts it on our Instagram. He puts it on the car sales sites. Beauty. Okay, 1971 Scout. I mean, the shop's full of cars. The church has just pulled the storage. It's got to go now. Send. Why don't we start moving back?
Everything here is heavy.
If anybody needs the exercise, it's you.
Up the hill from the shop, Mike and Avery are trying to clear a storage space that Mike needs for his build.
Who's that?
I don't know, but thank God it happened because I was tired of moving your...
We haven't even started yet. Hello?
Mike,
What's shaking?
there's a young lady named Steph to see you about a vehicle.
What's she looking for?
Scout, I think.
Send her up to Ed's place. We're on it. Ciao. Come on, let's go. I'd be really happy to sell the Scout. Hopefully she's serious. Oh, there she is. Young mom, 3 kids, perfect rig. Kind of excited. Hopefully she's gonna fall in love with it. You must be Steph.
I am. Nice to meet you. I saw the car online. There were only small pictures of it, but it definitely caught my attention.
Avery! What? Bring it out! Here it comes.
Oh, this is amazing! That's so cool! The color is beautiful.
It's actually a 1962 Fiat color. We call it the Lucky Charm.
Oh my gosh, it's just glowing. Just compared to the small pictures, they don't really do it justice. It's really amazing to see in person.
What do you think, guys? Do you like the color?
Oh, it's so shiny.
Scouts are cool, they're simpler. I mean, these guys made tractors, so you know they built rugged trucks, right?
Yes. We run a farm, so a 4x4 is always handy. What I really like is the attention to detail. I like the seats.
All brand new reupholstery.
I love the wooden trim on the back as well. It's just a really subtle touch.
That's marine varnish 5-coat. Nobody else will have that on their Scout.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has that big trunk space, which you need in any vehicle when you have kids.
It's
all right?
almost childproof. You can crush a sandwich into the floorboards and wash it out with a hose.
Square body vehicles, they just remind me of my childhood. They make me feel safe, and it just reminds me of home. So what kind of shape was it in when you first started it?
This thing was an amazing shape. That's why we started with it. There's still about 800 hours of work into it.
Wow. I'm a big fan of convertible trucks, so this is perfect. It's right up my alley.
Steph, she really seems to like the vehicle. Want to take it for a drive?
I do. Let's do it.
Okay, hop in. We'll go for a test drive. Hopefully that seals the deal. Lincoln, don't bite the tires. I don't run you over, but Steph might.
Oh, this is neat.
Like newer 4xs don't ride like this.
Wind in my hair. And I'm surprised at how well this thing handles. It's really fun to drive. Woo!
Here comes the big one. Now we're hitting the bumps, hey guys? Whee!
The kids are having a blast back there with Avery.
Kids, what do you figure? Should you buy this or what?
Yeah! I can totally picture myself running errands for the farm and taking them on some little adventures.
Buy it! Buy it! Buy
Hey, that's coercion and high-pressure sales. So, Steph, what do you think?
I love it. I love it a lot, but I do have 3 kids I gotta put through college, you know? So what are you thinking? What are you asking for this right now?
I'd like to get 45.
45,000.
Yes. I mean, Broncos in this stage are going for 90 grand.
Maybe 35.
Steph, I can't do 35.
Come
I've got
on.
kids too.
I'm not trying to lowball him. I'm just trying to make a realistic pitch just because we do have a set budget.
Steph, why don't you meet me in the middle?
I could.
I mean, at 40 grand, I could lick my wounds. I think that's a pretty fair price.
I think it's fair too. I think it's fair. Deal.
Okay.
Deal.
40 grand. Not losing money. We're getting the cash flow going again. And I'm super happy it's going to someone that appreciates it and loves it as much as we do. think we're getting close here.
A week later, Mike is giving the 55 T-Bird a clean new look.
Wow.
But its transformation into the new home for his dad's big block engine is not yet complete.
Hey, Mike.
Sam, what do you got?
I have a ignition switch for
Oh, good timing. Thanks, Sam. I mean, the end's in sight for this car. The whole idea was to put Dad's motor back in use. Ooh, halogens. I mean, that motor in Tranny's going into a pretty cool car. And because of the family heritage and the history, it's a special build. Ooh, I'm liking it. Oh, hey, Sam.
Mike's brother Rob and sister Roxanne have shown up to help with some of the final touches.
Here, you can put a headlight in, Roxanne.
that.
It's been over 30 years since Dad passed. Okay, now snug him up, not too tight. That T-Bird, the last plates on it are late 60s, so it's been 30, 40 years waiting for a rebirth. Okay, there.
Yeah?
There we go.
Geez, that looks good, eh?
Both of those things should have been dead and gone and squished. Okay, right over top. But things do rise from the dead. I think that's it.
That's pretty good.
We're bringing them back to life, and it's a kind of feel-good build.
So, Rob and I wrote you a little song.
Well, don't tease me. Let's hear it.
All right.
Still got that amp?
Of course I got the amp.
Okay, we'll bring her
Build
down.
him.
That should work. 3, 4.
Year was 1955. Mike wasn't born, just a gleam in Dad's eye. When Henry Ford was building him a Thunderbird to drive. 67 years later, Mike's happy to oblige.
This year, I wanted to pick cars that meant something to me. If you're gonna sink time and money into something, it may as well be something that you value. The 55 Bird's a special car. I want it to look stock, but special motor, special transmission. It's gonna sound a lot different than factory. I can hardly wait till we turn the key and listen to that thing bark. It's a cool build, it's gonna look good, and more importantly, she's gonna burn.
Like in his Thunderbird.
That rocks.
An unexpected early spring snowfall has hit Russ Valley.
Oh, my toes are getting cold.
Who ordered this weather?
But Mike's family has braved the cold.
I hope Mike shows up pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't think the roads are in that great shape either, man, so hopefully he makes it.
To see his latest build and their dad's restored engine at the heart of it.
The old man's got the 55 T-Bird finished. Supposed to be doing a test drive and showing it to the family today. We got a little bit of a surprise blizzard here. It's a little wet, it's a little cold, it's a little nasty.
This is not the day to be doing a drive.
But that has never stopped my old man from driving a convertible. Oh, hey, I hear him coming.
Here we go.
Oh, here he goes.
What?
Nice.
Look at
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, that is so cool. Whoa.
Well, that sounds a little different.
Wow, what do you think, guys?
Wow, man, it's come a long way.
Man, it's beautiful.
The car pops. With the white and the black, it's simple, elegant. It's one of my favorite builds. Not just because it was my dad's motor. I mean, it's a pretty cool looking car. Check it out.
Pretty nice, man. Looks sharp. That car looks really good. It's just such classic lines. The hood scoop looks great. It's a classic car, and the pearl white that he picked turned out really nice.
Man.
This car actually looks really sharp. I like what he did with the black and white. Very amazed that he painted all the chrome on it.
I really like the Ford emblems in the black.
That's tight. This thing looks good.
Look, Rhino lined the dash. You like that?
Nice.
We could have gone with reupholstering the dash. I said the thing's a convertible, make it waterproof.
Yeah.
66 Mustang buckets.
You're welcome.
These were out of Connor's car, because when he built it, he didn't like them. And I think they look like they came out of this car.
Nice.
Want to look under the hood?
Yeah, yeah.
Here, okay. There's the heart and soul, right?
There it is.
Beautiful.
So you got it to fit, eh?
Barely.
Nice.
I'm actually amazed at how much clearance there is in here.
Did some custom fab there?
Yes.
Electric fans?
Yep, 2 of them.
Remote mount oil.
We went power steering, we got the rack and pinion, hydraulic clutch.
Oh, that's kind of funky.
This thing's nasty, man. That engine brand new was 335 horse. Right now it's probably 400. Everything we touched, we improved. Here, we'll see if you fit, Kev.
All right.
I mean, it's still a small car.
This is not a personal luxury vehicle. This is a sports car.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, no, thank God you got the tilt, man.
Oh, perfect.
It's a go-kart.
Yeah.
Mike, this is better than I thought.
Yes.
There's more room than I thought. It'll be good.
It's been a long time coming, 30 years if you actually count how long I've had that motor in tranny. Ready to go for a burn?
Let's take her for a rip, man.
Take her for a rip. I'll be passenger, don't scare me. I don't think Dad's car ever sounded like that, Kevin.
No, that certainly didn't. I think it sounds pretty good, man.
Me too, it's loud.
It's loud. Oh, that sounds snotty.
She's gonna snap your head back, that car. Hey, well, and we're off. How's she feeling?
Actually feels tight. Suspension's good. She's like a big go-kart, man. Nice. Sure sounds good. I think Dad would like it.
I mean, it's not a four-door 65 Merc, but the spirit is there.
Heart and soul, man.
Heart and soul.
There was never much chance of redoing a 65 Meteor that was falling apart, but I think Dad would be happy to see the motor live again.
Got to get up and it's got to go.
See this project come to fruition, see the family come together, see the heart and soul of that car reflect his heart and soul. Wow, it does sparkle in the light.
It does sparkle in the light.
Nice.
Amazing. Even though it's an inanimate object, it's just amazing how cars, or even parts of cars, can have an emotional pull on people. Wow. I think he's up there smiling. I mean, this was his idea of a field trip. Drive some back road.
It's pretty nice.
The fact that we honored him and respected his memory, I think it put a smile on his face. I like it.
Yeah.
It's to you, Dad.
This is gorgeous.
Ah, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nicer to drive it at about 40 degrees warmer, Kev. Only in Canada, eh?
Hey.
The morning sun filtered through the dusty windows of Rust Valley, casting a golden glow on the cluttered workshop that smelled of motor oil, rust, and nostalgia. Michael, the unofficial leader of the restorers, stood over a faded 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback, its once vibrant red paint now a dull, flaking relic of the past. He tapped the hood with a greasy gloved hand, wincing as rust flakes fell onto the concrete floor, crunching underfoot like brittle autumn leaves. "This one's going to be tricky," he muttered, more to himself than anyone else, and then looked toward the entrance where Avery and Connor were unloading another heap of parts from the back of a beat-up pickup truck. Avery, ever the perfectionist, frowned as she examined a set of chrome wheels, shaking her head at the mismatched lug nuts. Connor, grinning despite the grease smudges streaking his face, slapped a box down with a clatter that echoed across the cavernous space. "Relax, we've handled worse," he said, dusting off his hands and winking at her, though she remained unimpressed. Around them, the shop was alive with a chaotic sort of energy, old radios crackling with classic rock, pneumatic tools hissing like miniature dragons, and the faint aroma of gasoline mingling with the sharp tang of metal. It was a place where history and ambition collided, and everyone who entered seemed to breathe a little differently, attuned to the rhythm of restoration and revival. Michael straightened and ran a hand through his graying hair, the stress lines on his forehead deepening as he glanced over the checklist taped to the wall: parts to order, engines to rebuild, paint colors to choose. The list seemed endless, a reflection of both their ambition and the unpredictable chaos that came with running Rust Valley Restorers. Just as he was about to call everyone together, the sound of a motorcycle engine roared from outside, making him squint against the sudden burst of noise. Through the open garage doors, a figure appeared, kicking up gravel as they maneuvered a vintage Triumph Bonneville into the lot. It was Alex, an old friend and occasional rival in the car restoration world, his leather jacket dusted with dirt, goggles perched on his forehead, and a grin that suggested mischief and secrets in equal measure. "Morning, folks," Alex shouted over the engine's fading rumble. "Heard you've got a Mustang that needs saving." Avery's eyes narrowed. "We don't need distractions today," she called back, though curiosity softened her stern tone. Connor, ever the mediator, waved Alex over before Michael could respond. "Let him in. Maybe he brings news or parts." Alex swung a leg off the bike, landing on the gravel with a practiced ease, and began unpacking a satchel brimming with car magazines, tools, and a small, mysterious box wrapped in brown paper. "Found something interesting while scouring an estate sale," he said, shaking the package. "Thought it might be a good challenge for the team." Michael eyed him suspiciously, the corners of his mouth twitching into a reluctant smile. He had known Alex for years, sometimes a friend, sometimes a competitor, but always someone who brought an unpredictable element to the shop. Inside the box, wrapped carefully in old newspaper, was a set of carburetors from a rare 1950s Jaguar XK120. Avery let out an audible gasp. "Where on earth did you find these?" she asked, gingerly lifting one out with white-gloved hands, marveling at its intricate craftsmanship. Alex shrugged, a sly twinkle in his eye. "Let's just say they were hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone who actually appreciates their worth." Connor whistled, leaning on the workbench. "These babies could turn our Mustang's engine into something insane." Michael shook his head, amused and exasperated at once. "All right," he said, clapping his hands together, "let's not get carried away. Step 1, we stabilize the bodywork. Step 2, engine inspection. Step 3, figure out how to fit these ridiculous carburetors without blowing up the Mustang or the shop." The team fell into motion, each person slipping into the rhythm of restoration, as if the shop itself dictated their movements. Metal clanged, wrenches spun, and the occasional muttered expletive punctuated the air as they disassembled the Mustang down to its skeletal frame. Hours passed unnoticed, the outside world fading as they concentrated on bringing life back to a vehicle that had been long forgotten. Outside, the sky shifted from morning blue to the warm amber of late afternoon, casting long shadows across the workshop floor, but inside, time seemed to exist only in the cadence of work. Michael crouched by the engine bay, inspecting the old V8 with a critical eye, while Avery meticulously cleaned and catalogued each component removed. Connor, meanwhile, was on the lookout for anything that could be repurposed from the cluttered corners of the shop, moving old signs, crates, and forgotten parts as though searching for buried treasure. Alex, uncharacteristically quiet for someone so full of energy, studied the Mustang from a distance, occasionally offering a tip or a historical fact about the car that left the others shaking their heads in disbelief. "You know, these little details," he said, pointing to a series of etched numbers on the frame, "tell you more about its history than any paperwork could." Avery arched an eyebrow. "Do you always have to make history sound like a fairy tale?" she teased, though she appreciated the insight. Connor grinned. "Better than reading the manual, that's for sure." As the day wore on, they reached the point where the Mustang's body had been stripped, sanded, and prepped for repairs. Rust spots were meticulously treated, dents pulled with skillful precision, and panels aligned with a painstaking attention to detail that could only come from years of experience. Yet beneath the physical labor an undercurrent of tension lingered. Restoring a car like this wasn't just about nuts and bolts, it was a test of patience, teamwork, and the unspoken bond that kept Rust Valley restorers running. During a brief break, Michael stepped outside, inhaling the crisp air, his mind racing with calculations, timelines, and possibilities. The arrival of the rare carburetors had added a layer of excitement and stress that none of them had anticipated. How would they integrate these into the Mustang's engine? Would it even work as envisioned? The questions hung over him like storm clouds, yet there was also a thrill in the unknown, a reminder of why he had devoted his life to car restoration in the first place. Inside, Avery meticulously labeled each component removed from the engine, the precision in her movements reflecting her unspoken philosophy. Every car had a story, and every part mattered. Connor, meanwhile, had discovered an old, forgotten toolbox buried under a pile of tires. Inside, he found a collection of vintage hand tools, their wooden handles worn smooth with decades of use. He held one up, examining the patina with reverence. "These tools have seen more life than some of the cars we restore," he mused aloud. Alex leaned over his shoulder, nodding. "And they're still useful. Just like the Mustang." The evening deepened, casting long shadows and bathing the workshop in a warm, amber glow from the overhead lights. The team gathered for a moment, taking stock of their progress. Michael leaned against the workbench, wiping sweat from his brow, his gaze lingering on the Mustang's frame. "We're making progress," he said quietly, though the weight of the challenge remained. Avery, ever practical, chimed in, "Tomorrow we tackle the engine. If these carburetors fit, we might just have a masterpiece on our hands." Connor smirked. "Or a disaster. But at least it'll be an interesting disaster." Alex laughed, the sound echoing through the workshop. "Isn't that why we're all here?" he said, gesturing to the Mustang. For the challenge, the thrill, and maybe, just maybe, the glory of bringing something forgotten back to life. As night fell and the team cleaned their tools, swept the floors, and locked the doors, there was a quiet sense of camaraderie that lingered in the air, a shared understanding that Rust Valley Restorers was more than a shop. It was a place where passion, skill, and a touch of madness converged, where each car told a story, and where every day brought a new puzzle to solve. Michael paused at the doorway, looking back at the Mustang bathed in the soft glow of the overhead lights, and felt a rare moment of satisfaction. They were at the beginning of something remarkable, a journey that would test their patience, ingenuity, and loyalty. Scout's honor, he thought with a wry smile, they would see this through together, whatever challenges lay ahead, and the Mustang would ride again, not just as a machine, but as a testament to their skill, their friendship, and their unwavering commitment to reviving the past, one rusty relic at a time. The next morning, the valley was blanketed in a thin mist that clung to the hills like a veil, muting the early sunlight and casting the Rust Valley workshop in a mysterious, almost ethereal light. Michael arrived first, the crunch of gravel under his boots the only sound in the quiet morning. The Mustang, now stripped of its innards and awaiting its transformation, seemed almost alive under the pale dawn, its bare frame gleaming like a skeleton in repose. He inhaled the familiar scent of oil, metal, and damp earth and felt a surge of anticipation. Today they would tackle the heart of the car, the engine, the very component that would breathe life back into the Mustang, and the task was monumental. Avery and Connor arrived shortly after, Avery clutching a clipboard and Connor balancing a coffee thermos, and a stack of old manuals he had scavenged from the shelves the day before. Alex rolled in on his motorcycle, the engine echoing across the valley, and parked with a flourish, removing his goggles and giving a mock salute. Ready to turn history into horsepower, he asked, grinning from ear to ear. Avery shot him a look that mixed exasperation with amusement. Ready is a relative term, she replied dryly. Connor chuckled, shaking his head as he pulled the hood open. Michael, already kneeling beside the engine bay, gestured for everyone to focus. Step 1, Inspection. We need to understand exactly what we're working with before we even think about attaching those carburetors Alex found. The team fell into action with a synchronized precision that could only have come from years of working together. Michael ran a flashlight along the V8 cylinders, wiping away oil and grime, tracing the metal for hairline cracks or damage. Avery carefully documented every detail, noting which components could be salvaged, which needed replacement, and which required delicate restoration. Connor rummaged through the boxes Alex had brought, comparing tools and spare parts with the schematics, while Alex himself hovered near the edges, offering historical trivia about each component, sometimes with uncanny accuracy. Hours passed in this way, a rhythm of observation, discussion, and tentative experimentation. The soundscape of the workshop was a symphony of hissing wrenches, clinking metal, muttered calculations, and occasional laughter. Michael paused to stretch his back, glancing at the Mustang's frame. This is more than just a car, he murmured. Every dent, every layer of rust, every previous repair tells a story. And if we get this right, we're not just restoring a vehicle, we're restoring a piece of someone's life, frozen in time. Avery nodded thoughtfully, wiping her hands on a rag. I keep thinking about the people who drove this car, the roads it conquered, the memories it carried. It's like archaeology, but with horsepower. Connor, leaning against the workbench, added, and unlike archaeology, we get to make it roar again. Alex laughed, the sound echoing through the cavernous workshop, but there was a seriousness behind his smile. There's beauty in engineering, he said quietly. The way these parts fit together, the precision of it, it's almost poetic. You restore the machine, and in a way, you restore the spirit that built it. By mid-afternoon, the engine had been partially disassembled, revealing layers of wear, previous modifications, and hidden potential. The V8, while aged and neglected, held promise, a latent power that only careful attention and skilled hands could unlock. Michael, Avery, and Connor worked side by side, sometimes speaking in technical shorthand, sometimes in long, speculative debates over how to integrate the vintage carburetors without compromising the Mustang's balance. Alex watched, occasionally chiming in with suggestions or anecdotes about similar engines he had encountered in his travels. The afternoon sun filtered through the garage windows, catching the metallic surfaces in sharp, glittering light, making every bolt, every piston, every layer of grime glow like treasure. Michael paused, wiping sweat from his brow, and looked at the team. "We're hitting the critical phase now," he said. "This is where mistakes matter, where patience and precision will determine whether this car comes back roaring or sits in pieces for the next decade." Avery adjusted her gloves, the determination in her eyes reflecting the solemnity of the moment. "Let's not screw this up," she said simply. Connor grinned, though his eyes mirrored her intensity. "No pressure, right?" Michael ignored the joke, focusing instead on aligning the crankshaft and double-checking torque specifications. The air was thick with concentration, punctuated only by the occasional sound of metal clinking against metal, or the hiss of compressed air as they cleaned components. Outside, the mist had lifted, replaced by a brilliant blue sky, but inside, time seemed suspended, each second stretched by the meticulous labor of restoration. As the engine came apart, hidden challenges emerged. Rust had infiltrated some components more deeply than expected, requiring delicate extraction and careful fabrication of replacements. Springs and pistons had to be machined to exact tolerances, and some connections demanded a creative solution that would test both their skill and ingenuity. Alex, noticing a particularly stubborn bolt that refused to budge, offered a trick he had learned from a retired engineer. With his guidance, they were able to free it without damage, earning nods of approval from Michael and Avery. Connor, ever the opportunist, began collecting the removed parts that could be repurposed for future projects, already thinking ahead to the next car that might wander into Rust Valley. Hours blurred into evening as the team worked, the golden light of sunset spilling across the workshop floor. They had made significant progress, the engine was partially restored, critical components cleaned and measured, and the first of Alex's rare carburetors were being test-fitted. Tension and exhilaration coexisted in the air, a palpable energy that seemed to electrify the space. Michael took a rare moment to step back, surveying the scene. The Mustang, now partially dismantled, looked almost skeletal, yet beneath the raw metal and stripped paint, potential shimmered like a hidden gem. He felt a swell of pride and gratitude for the team around him, their skills and camaraderie forming the backbone of every success at Rust Valley. Avery, wiping her brow, joined him at the workbench, holding a small, polished piston. "This one's delicate," she said. "If we're careful, it'll slide in perfectly." Michael nodded, his fingers tracing the contours. "It's a puzzle," he said softly. "And every piece has to fit, or the whole picture falls apart." Connor, overhearing them, chimed in with a grin. "And that's why we love this job. The bigger the challenge, the sweeter the victory." As night settled over the valley, the team cleaned up, cataloged remaining parts, and locked the workshop doors. Yet even as they dispersed for the evening, the engine remained in Michael's mind, a promise of what could be, a testament to history, patience, and teamwork. The arrival of those rare carburetors had injected new excitement into the project, raising the stakes and ensuring that every decision would matter. As he drove home under the starlit sky, Michael reflected on the day's progress, the delicate balance between restoration and invention, and the unspoken bond that held Rust Valley restorers together. Tomorrow they would continue, facing more technical puzzles, more rusted challenges, and more opportunities to breathe life back into a forgotten icon. Scout's honor, he thought again, a private smile curling his lips, they would see it through the sweat, the noise, the frustration, and the exhilaration, because this was more than just a car. It was a story, a legacy, a testament to passion and perseverance. And the Mustang, waiting patiently in its workshop cradle, would one day roar again, louder, prouder, and more alive than anyone dared to imagine. Morning arrived in Rust Valley with a crisp clarity that seemed almost to demand productivity, and the team filtered into the workshop with a mixture of anticipation and quiet determination, the Mustang waiting like a patient sentinel amidst the organized chaos of tools, crates, and half-finished projects. Michael was already there, bent over a set of schematics spread across a workbench, his brow furrowed as he traced lines with a grease-stained finger, planning the integration of the rare carburetors Alex had discovered. Avery arrived next, her steps measured, carrying a laptop with digital diagrams and measurement charts, ready to cross-reference and ensure that every adjustment would be precise, while Connor rolled in a cart full of spare engine components, each labeled meticulously with stickers he had made himself, a small ritual that balanced his casual charm with a deep respect for organization. Alex, true to form, made a dramatic entrance on his Triumph, kicking up a thin layer of gravel, goggles pushed to his forehead, grin wide as ever. "Ready for round 2, he called, slapping the handlebar and tossing a small toolbox onto a nearby bench. Avery didn't respond immediately, too focused on the engine block laid bare before her, but Connor chuckled and waved Alex over, sensing that the energy the old friend brought would be crucial for the day's tasks. Michael gestured for the group to gather, outlining the plan. Today they would address the engine's core, ensuring that pistons, valves, and crankshaft all met tolerances, and test fitting Alex's carburetors, which presented a unique challenge given their vintage design and the age of the Mustang's frame. The team moved with synchronized precision, each action deliberate, each tool a conduit for both skill and passion, as if the workshop itself dictated the rhythm of their labor. Metal clanged, pneumatic tools hissed, and the occasional burst of laughter punctuated the otherwise concentrated air as parts were lifted, adjusted, and carefully returned to their places. Michael crouched near the engine bay, inspecting a cylinder for wear patterns, his hands moving with practiced familiarity, while Avery input measurements into her laptop, correlating historical data from old car manuals to ensure accuracy. Connor, meanwhile, had assumed the role of both scout and collector, rummaging through bins and shelves, salvaging any usable component and improvising solutions for those that could not be found, demonstrating an intuitive understanding of how each piece would contribute to the whole. Alex, leaning against the edge of the workbench, offered insights and historical anecdotes, his knowledge of rare vehicles and engineering quirks adding depth to their understanding and occasionally inspiring unorthodox solutions. Hours melted away in this dance of precision and creativity, the outside world fading into irrelevance as they focused entirely on the Mustang. The integration of the rare carburetors proved to be a delicate task. Their dimensions were slightly off from the stock engine specifications, demanding careful adjustments, custom fittings, and an almost artistic touch to ensure they would function without compromising the engine's integrity. Avery meticulously measured each mounting point, consulting digital schematics and jotting notes in a well-worn notebook, while Michael aligned the intake manifolds with careful patience, threading bolts with deliberate precision, sweat glistening on his forehead as he worked. Connor's ingenuity shone in moments of improvisation, crafting spacers from old engine parts, filing metal to tolerances, and testing alignments with the confidence of someone who had spent countless hours coaxing life from forgotten machines. Even Alex, usually more relaxed, was focused, his hands steady as he guided components into place, his eyes scanning the engine with a blend of admiration and calculation. By mid-afternoon, the Mustang's engine was partially reassembled, each piston seated correctly, valves adjusted, and carburetors loosely fitted for a preliminary test. The team paused, stepping back to assess their progress, the air thick with anticipation. Michael wiped his hands on a rag, exhaling deeply. "We're close," he said, a rare note of satisfaction in his voice. "This is where everything comes together, or falls apart." Avery adjusted her gloves, eyes flicking between the engine and the digital readings. "We've accounted for every variable," she said, though even she could not hide a hint of tension. Connor leaned casually, but his fingers drummed on the workbench with barely contained excitement. "I think we're about to make history," he said. Alex chuckled softly, the sound low and thoughtful. "Or at least a very loud noise," he quipped, though his tone held respect for the challenge they had undertaken. Michael nodded. "Either way, it's time for the preliminary fit. Let's see if these carburetors want to play nice." Carefully, the team adjusted connections, aligned hoses, and verified fuel lines, each action measured to minimize risk. When the moment came to prime the engine, silence fell across the workshop, broken only by the soft hum of anticipation. Michael turned the ignition key, and for a fraction of a second, nothing happened. Then, with a cough, a roar, and a resonant growl, the engine sputtered to life, vibrating through the frame, and sending a thrill down every spine in the room. Avery's eyes widened, a smile breaking across her face as she noted the smooth idling, the subtle harmony of components working together in near-perfect unison. Connor whooped, pumping a fist in the air. "Yes! Did you hear that?" he shouted, the sound bouncing off the walls and filling the workshop with unrestrained excitement. Alex grinned, stepping back to admire the scene. That's a symphony of metal, he said softly. Michael's gaze lingered on the engine, pride and satisfaction mingling with relief. It's alive, he murmured. We did it. But even in that moment of triumph, the team knew the work was far from complete. They had achieved a critical milestone, but there remained bodywork, paint, interior restoration, and countless small adjustments to perfect. And beyond the technical challenges, there was the unspoken understanding that each restoration carried responsibility, not only to the car itself but to the history it represented and to the people who had entrusted their pasts, in some small way, to Rust Valley restorers. As the day stretched into evening, the workshop glowed with the soft light of overhead lamps, casting long shadows across the concrete floor and gleaming metal. The team took a brief pause to drink coffee, wipe sweat from brows, and exchange stories, laughter punctuating the air as camaraderie strengthened their shared purpose. Michael, surveying the Mustang, allowed himself a rare moment of reflection. Every project is a puzzle, he said quietly, and every successful fit, every correctly aligned component, is a victory not just over rust and time, but over the doubts we carry about what can be achieved. Avery nodded, tracing the contours of the engine with a careful finger. And it's proof that patience, skill, and teamwork can resurrect more than machines, they can resurrect the belief that the impossible can be possible. Connor, glancing at the partially reassembled engine, added, and sometimes, the thrill comes from the challenge itself, not just the outcome. Alex, leaning back on his heels, smiled, the quiet satisfaction of a day well spent reflected in his eyes. It's why we do this, he said. The story, the struggle, the joy of bringing something back to life, it's what keeps us coming back day after day. As the team cleaned up, catalogued remaining parts, and prepared for the night, there was a shared sense of achievement and anticipation. The engine, now functional in its preliminary test, represented not just technical success, but a reaffirmation of their collective skill, vision, and dedication. Michael, locking the workshop doors, took a final look at the Mustang, gleaming under the soft glow of the lamps, and felt a profound connection to the machine, to the team, and to the history that had brought them all together in this remote valley. Scout's honor, he thought, smiling to himself, we'll see this through, not just for the car, but for each other, and for the countless stories that every rusted, forgotten relic carries with it. Tomorrow promised new challenges, new adjustments, and perhaps new surprises, but the team was ready, bolstered by the day's success, and united in their mission to resurrect the past with skill, heart, and a touch of audacious ambition. And in that quiet moment, with the night pressing softly against the walls of Rust Valley and the Mustang resting like a sleeping giant, there was a certainty that no obstacle, no rusted bolt, no missing part could diminish the determination, ingenuity, or camaraderie that had made Rust Valley Restorers not just a workshop, but a sanctuary for forgotten legends waiting to roar again. The morning sun filtered through the misty valley, turning the workshop into a golden haven of possibilities, and Michael was the first to arrive, his mind already cycling through the tasks awaiting them, bodywork, interior restoration, fine-tuning the engine, and the meticulous alignment of parts that could make or break the Mustang's performance. He stepped inside the workshop, inhaling the familiar scent of oil, dust, and metal, and allowed himself a small smile at the sight of the partially resurrected engine gleaming under the overhead lamps. It was alive, but the real work had only just begun. Avery arrived soon after, her laptop in hand, cross-referencing diagrams, paint codes, and historical references for the Mustang's original design, while Connor pushed a trolley of spare parts, each item catalogued, polished, and ready for use. Alex, of course, made his entrance on the Triumph, goggles up and grin wide, carrying an additional toolbox that clinked with unknown surprises. Morning, team, he called, the sound echoing against the high ceilings, ready for some bodywork gymnastics. Avery raised an eyebrow but didn't reply, already absorbed in measurements and notes, while Connor chuckled and gave him a mock salute. Michael gathered the group near the Mustang, outlining the plan. They would tackle the body panels today, repairing rusted sections, filling dents, and prepping the surfaces for the primer coat that would ultimately define the car's renewed glory. The work began with careful assessment. Each panel was examined for rust, misalignment, and damage from previous owners. Michael ran his gloved hand along the Mustang's fender, feeling minute imperfections beneath the fingers that eyes alone might have missed. These panels tell a story, he murmured. Every dent, every rust spot, every previous repair its history written in steel. We don't just cover it up, we honor it. Avery nodded, her hands already covered in sandpaper dust as she began smoothing a particularly pitted area. Connor, ever the improviser, scouted the corners of the workshop for spare metal sheets, brackets, and tools that could assist in the restoration, while Alex offered insights about original factory techniques, occasionally demonstrating how a subtle hammer adjustment could bring a stubborn panel back into alignment. Hours passed in a hypnotic rhythm of sanding, hammering, welding, and measuring, punctuated by bursts of laughter, debates over technique, and the occasional expletive when a stubborn bolt or dent refused to cooperate. Michael moved between tasks with a deliberate precision, supervising the team, while simultaneously immersing himself in hands-on work, welding a small patch in the rear quarter panel, grinding down edges, and ensuring that each repaired section met the highest standards of craftsmanship. Avery's focus was almost surgical. She filled, sanded, and smoothed, her eyes flicking between the physical surface and the digital references on her laptop, ensuring the restoration remained faithful to the Mustang's original design. Connor, meanwhile, orchestrated a ballet of logistics, ferrying tools, coordinating clamps, and creating makeshift jigs to facilitate precision work, his casual demeanor belying an acute awareness of every movement, measurement, and necessary adjustment. Alex, leaning over the Mustang's hood, guided them with historical anecdotes and practical tips from decades of experience, sometimes stepping in with a tool in hand, demonstrating a particular technique, and occasionally standing back to admire the emerging contours of the car's restored body. By mid-afternoon, the Mustang's surface had transformed from a patchwork of rust, dents, and old paint into a smooth, primed frame that gleamed under the workshop lights like a promise of the masterpiece to come. The team paused briefly, wiping sweat from their brows, exchanging glances that conveyed both exhaustion and pride. Michael wiped his hands and studied the vehicle with satisfaction. "This is where patience meets precision," he said. "Every hour, every adjustment, every small correction has led us here. And it's only the beginning." Avery adjusted her gloves, eyes still fixed on the Mustang. "Tomorrow we move to the interior and finishing touches," she said. Connor clapped his hands together with a grin. "And then we get to hear it roar again, properly this time." Alex chuckled softly, eyes twinkling. "The engine is ready, the body is ready, now it's about harmony. The parts, the craftsmanship, the history, they all have to sing together." As the afternoon stretched into evening, the team tackled smaller, yet equally important tasks, ensuring door panels aligned perfectly, smoothing out minor imperfections, and preparing mounting points for the seats and interior fixtures. Michael supervised, guiding hands, offering corrections, and occasionally stepping back to appreciate the collective effort. Avery meticulously measured gaps between panels, ensuring that symmetry and precision were maintained to the highest standards, while Connor fine-tuned alignment points, checking hinges and brackets, and creating small jigs to hold components in place for welding or screwing. Alex moved fluidly among them, a mix of instructor, historian, and enthusiastic participant, sharing insights about the original manufacturing tolerances and reminding everyone of the Mustang's cultural significance as an icon of mid-century automotive design. By the time dusk painted the valley in shades of orange and purple, the Mustang's exterior was almost unrecognizable from the battered shell that had arrived weeks before. Metal and primer gleamed in soft anticipation, each line and curve restored to near original perfection, yet hinting at the individuality and care imbued by the team's labor. The workshop, now quiet except for the occasional clatter of a tool or the hum of a vacuum, smelled of fresh metal, welding fumes, and dust, the scent of transformation and progress. Michael stepped back, taking a deep breath, and letting his gaze linger on the car. "We're doing more than restoring a vehicle," he said quietly. "We're restoring pride, history, and the belief that forgotten things can shine again." Avery smiled, brushing a stray lock of hair from her eyes. "And tomorrow we take the engine and body together," she said, making sure that the harmony Alex mentioned becomes a reality. Connor laughed softly. "And if it doesn't roar perfectly, at least it'll look good while we try." Alex leaned against the edge of the workbench, silent for a moment before adding, "It will roar. It has to. Scout's honor." As the team cleaned up, organized tools, and prepared to lock the workshop doors for the night, there was a shared sense of accomplishment and anticipation, a quiet acknowledgement that every bolt tightened, every panel adjusted, every inch of metal sanded and smoothed was a step toward resurrection. Outside, the night deepened, stars glittering across the valley, and the Mustang rested in the center of the workshop like a sleeping giant, ready to awaken under the careful hands and skilled eyes of Rust Valley restorers. Michael lingered at the doorway, glancing back at the vehicle, his mind already planning the next day, interior installation, fine-tuning the engine, and perhaps a first real test drive. Scout's honor, he thought once more, a private smile tugging at his lips. We'll see this through, no matter the challenge, the rust, or the hidden complications, because in this valley, with this team, nothing forgotten is beyond revival, and every car carries a story waiting to roar again. The next morning, a gentle fog rolled over Rust Valley, softening the edges of the hills and casting an otherworldly glow across the workshop as the team arrived, eager to continue the restoration of the Mustang and bring their vision one step closer to reality. Michael was already inside, bent over the partially reassembled engine, checking tolerances and reviewing the notes Avery had compiled the day before, while Connor maneuvered a cart loaded with interior components and upholstery materials, each piece meticulously labeled and sorted. Avery arrived next, her laptop open to a 3D model of the Mustang's interior, cross-referencing original specifications with the modern updates they planned to integrate, while Alex made his entrance on the Triumph, the engine's rumble echoing like a herald of productivity. Morning, all, he called, tossing a set of specialized tools onto the workbench, ready to make this beauty as comfortable inside as she is fierce under the hood. Avery shot him a pointed glance but didn't respond immediately, already engrossed in measurements, while Connor grinned and gestured for him to join, sensing the energy and knowledge Alex brought to the project would be invaluable. Michael gathered the group near the Mustang, outlining the day's plan. They would install the interior, finalize engine adjustments, and begin the painstaking process of synchronizing all components to ensure that the car not only looked pristine but performed flawlessly. They moved with practiced coordination, each member aware of their role yet adaptable to the dynamic challenges presented by the vintage vehicle. Michael focused on fine-tuning the engine, adjusting carburetor linkages, checking compression, and ensuring that all moving parts meshed with precision. Avery measured and cut fabric, fitted seat frames, and aligned panels, her meticulous nature ensuring that each component matched the historical and aesthetic standards they were striving for. Connor scouted the shop for missing pieces, improvising solutions, and ensuring that tools and parts were always within reach, his light-hearted demeanor counterbalancing the intense focus that filled the space. Alex, drawing from decades of experience, advised on fitting techniques, historical accuracy, and subtle modifications that would enhance performance without compromising authenticity. Hours passed in a focused rhythm, the air filled with the sounds of fabric stretching, bolts tightening, pneumatic tools hissing, and the occasional muttered expletive when a stubborn component refused to cooperate. Michael wiped his brow and stepped back to admire the engine, now fully integrated with the rare carburetors, their intricate craftsmanship a testament to both history and ingenuity. Avery carefully slid the newly upholstered seats into place, testing alignment, comfort, and the smooth operation of rails and adjustments. Connor adjusted brackets and custom fittings, ensuring that every connection was secure and functional, while Alex examined each step with a critical yet appreciative eye, offering guidance, encouragement, and historical context. As afternoon approached, they paused to assess progress. The Mustang, though still in its workshop cradle, now bore the beginnings of a complete restoration, the exterior gleaming from previous work, the engine purring with potential, and the interior beginning to take shape in meticulous detail. Michael wiped his hands, satisfied with the day's progress, but aware that the hardest work often came at the final stages, where small errors could compromise months of effort. "We're in the home stretch," he said, his voice calm but firm, "but precision is everything now. Every misalignment, every overlooked detail could cost us dearly." Avery nodded, eyes scanning the interior, fingers tracing seams and edges. "I know. That's why we're double-checking everything," she said, a faint smile betraying her pride in their collective efforts. Connor adjusted a seat frame, grinning. "And if anything goes wrong, we'll just call it character," he joked, eliciting a small laugh from Alex, who leaned over to tighten a bolt with deft precision. They continued working through the afternoon, balancing speed and accuracy, each task carefully choreographed. Michael focused on tuning the engine, ensuring that the rear carburetors were functioning perfectly, adjusting fuel flow, and monitoring performance metrics with a digital gauge. Avery meticulously installed interior panels, seats, and dashboard components, checking alignment and fit with a meticulous eye, while Connor ensured that every tool, every spare part, and every piece of hardware was in its proper place, ready for any adjustment or repair that might be necessary. Alex moved fluidly among them, offering historical context, technical tips, and occasional hands-on assistance, his knowledge proving invaluable in solving unexpected challenges, like a slightly warped dashboard panel or a misaligned bracket. As the afternoon light softened into evening, the team took a brief pause to admire their progress. The Mustang now had a fully fitted interior, seats comfortable and aligned, controls functioning smoothly, and the engine harmoniously integrated with the rear carburetors. The body shimmered under the workshop lights, the work of the previous days now complemented by the careful attention to detail in every interior component. Michael stepped back, wiping sweat from his brow and taking a deep breath. "This is where it all comes together," he said, a note of reverence in his voice. "Engine, body, interior, they're not just parts anymore. They're a story, a testament to skill, patience, and passion." Avery smiled faintly, adjusting a final trim piece. "And a bit of stubbornness," she added, eliciting a chuckle from Connor, who nodded knowingly. Alex leaned against the workbench, silent for a moment before adding, "and a touch of madness, which keeps it all exciting." They returned to work, performing final adjustments, tightening every bolt, checking tolerances, and ensuring that each component was aligned perfectly. The sounds of the workshop, the clinking of metal, the hiss of tools, and the occasional burst of laughter, blended into a rhythm that mirrored their focus and determination. By late evening, the Mustang was nearly complete. The engine hummed smoothly, responding perfectly to adjustments, the interior was functional, aesthetically faithful, and comfortable, and the body, previously a patchwork of rust and dents, now gleamed like a new masterpiece, each line and curve restored with care. The team paused to clean the workshop, organizing tools, cataloging leftover components, and preparing for the next day, when the Mustang would finally be tested on the road. Outside, the valley was bathed in the soft light of twilight, stars beginning to appear as night crept across the hills. The Mustang rested in the center of the workshop like a silent promise, a testament to the dedication, skill, and collaboration of Rust Valley restorers. Michael lingered at the doorway, looking back at the vehicle, pride and anticipation mingling in his chest. "Scout's honor," he thought, a private smile curling his lips, "we'll see this through, no matter what challenges remain, and every rusted, forgotten relic that comes our way will have a chance to roar again under our hands." The team left for the night with quiet satisfaction, each member aware that they were not just restoring a car, they were preserving history, crafting a legacy, and strengthening a bond that only grew stronger through the shared labor of creation, precision, and passion. And in the stillness of the workshop, with the Mustang waiting silently under the glow of the lamps, there was a sense of anticipation, a feeling that something extraordinary was about to awaken, and that the coming days would test not only their technical skill but also their patience, ingenuity, and unity as a team committed to bringing forgotten machines back to life. The following morning, a crisp chill hung in the air as the Rust Valley workshop slowly came to life, the Mustang waiting patiently like a coiled spring, promising speed, power, and the satisfaction of countless hours of labor to those who had nurtured it back from the brink of decay. Michael was the first to arrive, carrying his tool bag and a notebook brimming with notes, sketches, and calculations detailing the delicate synchronization of engine performance, suspension tuning, and interior adjustments. He paused briefly at the door, inhaling the familiar mix of oil, metal, and dust, feeling that electric anticipation that only came when a car was finally ready for its first real test after weeks of painstaking restoration. Avery arrived shortly after, balancing her laptop, measurement tools, and a folder filled with detailed records of the Mustang's historical specifications, her mind already whirring through the tasks for the day, aligning the steering column, testing all electrical systems, ensuring that the brakes and transmission responded perfectly, and refining the interior adjustments that had taken hours of patience to achieve. Connor rolled in with a cart stacked high with tools, replacement parts, and improvised jigs, his grin wide and eyes sparkling with anticipation, while Alex arrived on his Triumph, the motorcycle's engine growling like a herald of productivity as he tossed his helmet onto a bench and began unpacking a new set of diagnostic tools he had picked up during his recent travels. ready to see if she's more than just a pretty face. Alex called, his voice echoing against the high ceilings of the workshop. Avery didn't respond immediately, already absorbed in measuring tolerances on the newly installed seats, while Connor winked at Alex and said, "If she doesn't roar, I'm blaming you," eliciting a laugh from the group. Michael called them together, outlining the plan for the day: engine fine-tuning, brake and suspension adjustments, steering alignment, interior checks, and a preliminary test drive to assess overall performance. The team immediately fell into action, their movements fluid, rehearsed, and yet full of improvisation where required. Michael knelt by the engine, adjusting carburetor linkages, measuring fuel flow, and monitoring compression, while Avery meticulously examined the dashboard, ensuring that gauges, switches, and indicators responded precisely. Connor darted between workstations, adjusting brackets, preparing tools, and assisting wherever his hands were needed, his energy a counterpoint to Avery's precision and Michael's focus. Alex leaned over the engine, offering suggestions, historical anecdotes, and occasional demonstrations, guiding the team in fine-tuning the rare carburetors that had been integrated so delicately into the V8. Hours passed in a symphony of mechanical activity. Wrenches clicked against nuts, pneumatic tools hissed and hummed, metal ground against metal, and the occasional burst of laughter punctuated the tense focus that defined this critical phase of restoration. The Mustang's engine responded beautifully to adjustments, the hum of the V8 resonating through the floor and walls of the workshop, yet each test required careful calibration, ensuring that performance was optimized without compromising the delicate integrity of vintage components. Avery checked interior alignments, adjusting seat positions, tightening fasteners, and verifying the operation of all electrical systems, while Connor continued to scout for tools, parts, and small modifications that would enhance both functionality and comfort. Alex, moving fluidly among them, demonstrated how subtle adjustments to carburetor linkages could improve throttle response, sharing insights he had gathered from years of experience with rare and vintage vehicles. As the day progressed, the team reached a critical juncture. All major systems were functional, the engine harmonized with the carburetors, the brakes responded perfectly, and the interior was both historically accurate and fully operational. Michael wiped his hands on a rag, stepping back to survey their work with a sense of quiet pride. "We're ready for the first run," he said, his voice low but steady, carrying the weight of responsibility and anticipation. Avery nodded, adjusting the seat and ensuring her notes were complete, while Connor grinned broadly, practically vibrating with excitement. Alex stepped to the side, arms crossed, a satisfied smile on his face. "Let's see if all that work translates into a roar worthy of her history," he said. Carefully, they rolled the Mustang out of the workshop, the tires crunching on gravel, the body gleaming under the midday sun as shadows played across its curves and contours. Michael climbed into the driver's seat, Avery settled into the passenger side, and Connor positioned himself to observe critical systems while Alex followed behind on his Triumph, ready to provide assistance or guidance. The ignition key turned, and the Mustang's V8 came to life with a smooth, resonant growl, the integration of rare carburetors producing a harmonious tone that immediately sent shivers of satisfaction through the team. Michael eased the car forward, testing brakes, steering, and throttle response. Each system functioned flawlessly, the engine responding to every subtle adjustment with a perfect balance of power and control. The first tentative acceleration brought a grin to Michael's face, followed by a glance at Avery, whose eyes sparkled with admiration and relief, while Connor cheered softly, fists pumping, and Alex laughed, nodding in approval. They continued through a series of tests in the lot, gradually increasing speed, testing handling, and monitoring performance. Every adjustment they had made over the past weeks revealed its purpose and value, a testament to skill, patience, and teamwork. As the Mustang roared down a straight stretch, hugging curves with precision, the team felt a profound connection, not only to the car itself but to the countless hours of labor, planning, and problem-solving that had culminated in this moment. Michael executed a tight turn, demonstrating suspension stability, while Avery and Connor observed gauges and performance indicators, noting the flawless operation of all systems. Alex followed on his motorcycle, capturing data, offering feedback, and providing encouragement, all while reveling in the moment that came from seeing a vintage vehicle come to life under the hands of dedicated restorers. After several laps, they returned to the workshop, rolling the Mustang back into its familiar cradle, the engine purring contentedly as if acknowledging the team's accomplishment. Michael climbed out, wiping sweat from his brow, and allowed himself a rare moment of satisfaction. "She's everything we hoped for and more," he said, voice tinged with awe. Avery adjusted a final interior panel, smiling at the perfect alignment and functionality. "It's incredible what we can accomplish when we work together," she said softly. Connor laughed, giving the Mustang a gentle pat. "And with a bit of stubbornness, luck, and some genius-level improvisation," he added, nodding toward Alex. Alex chuckled, leaning against the workbench. "Scout's honor," he said, his tone both serious and playful. "We saw it through." The team spent the remainder of the afternoon performing minor tweaks, documenting the restoration for future reference, and cleaning the workshop, ensuring that everything was organized for the next project that would inevitably find its way to Rust Valley. As night fell over the valley, stars emerging in a clear sky, the Mustang rested like a sleeping giant in the center of the workshop, a living testament to skill, dedication, and shared passion. Michael lingered at the doorway, taking a deep breath, the cool night air mixing with the familiar scent of oil and metal, and felt a quiet satisfaction that went beyond the completion of a project. Scout's honor, he thought, a private smile tugging at his lips. We've honored history, forged camaraderie, and breathed life into something that had been forgotten. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new projects, and more opportunities to test skill and ingenuity, but tonight, Rust Valley restorers had achieved something extraordinary, and every member of the team knew that they had witnessed not just the revival of a car, but the affirmation of their purpose, the power of collaboration, and the enduring thrill of bringing the past roaring boldly into the present. The morning air in Rust Valley carried a crisp edge, hinting at the approaching winter, and the workshop was alive with activity as Michael, Avery, Connor, and Alex prepared for the next phase of the Mustang restoration, a phase that promised to test both their technical skill and their creative problem-solving in equal measure. Michael was already inside, crouched by the engine, tracing wiring harnesses and recalibrating carburetor settings after the preliminary road test had revealed subtle discrepancies in throttle response, while Avery arrived moments later, balancing her laptop, digital schematics, and an assortment of measurement instruments, her mind racing through a checklist that included interior fine-tuning, electrical system diagnostics, and aesthetic adjustments that would perfect the balance between historical accuracy and functional modernity. Connor wheeled in a cart laden with specialty tools, spare bolts, and replacement brackets, each carefully labeled and arranged for quick access, while Alex roared in on his Triumph, the motorcycle's engine echoing across the valley like a herald of the day's potential. "Morning, all," he called, sliding off his bike and tossing a set of fine-tuning tools onto a bench, ready to see if our Mustang wants to dance today. Avery, already absorbed in measuring dashboard tolerances, didn't answer immediately, while Connor shot a grin at Alex and whispered, "If she doesn't dance, you're going to be the first to blame," eliciting a chuckle from the group. Michael gestured for the team to gather, outlining the day's plan. They would integrate a subtle suspension adjustment, fine-tune the engine's responsiveness, address minor electrical quirks revealed during the test drive, and perfect interior ergonomics so that the car would not only look stunning but provide a seamless driving experience. The team moved into action with a practiced rhythm, metal clinking against metal, pneumatic tools hissing, and the occasional soft laughter or exclamation when a stubborn component required extra attention. Michael concentrated on engine refinement, adjusting fuel lines, checking ignition timing, and monitoring air-fuel ratios, each small adjustment requiring careful calibration to maintain harmony with the rear carburetors. Avery focused on interior adjustments, sliding seats along rails, aligning dashboard panels, and testing controls, her eyes sharp and hands precise, ensuring that the cabin would be both historically faithful and fully functional. Connor, ever the improviser, scouted the workshop for parts, created jigs for alignment, and offered creative solutions to minor challenges, his enthusiasm infectious and his problem-solving both intuitive and inventive. Alex moved fluidly among them, offering advice, historical insight, and practical demonstrations, showing how subtle changes could improve both performance and aesthetic integrity, and sharing anecdotes from vintage car restorations that offered both humor and unexpected solutions. Hours passed in this harmonious dance of skill, patience, and focus, the air rich with the scent of metal, oil, and fresh upholstery, punctuated by the rhythm of tools and the occasional triumphant exclamation as a stubborn bolt finally gave way or a measurement proved accurate. By midday, they had addressed the engine's minor quirks, the suspension had been subtly adjusted for improved handling, and the interior refinements were complete, leaving the Mustang poised for a second, more thorough road test. Michael wiped his hands, stepping back to assess the vehicle, his eyes reflecting both satisfaction and anticipation. "This is where it all comes together," he said quietly. "Engine, suspension, interior, they have to work in harmony, and that harmony defines the difference between a restored car and a masterpiece." Avery smiled, adjusting a final trim piece. "And we've accounted for every detail," she said, "so the experience will be as authentic as it is exhilarating." Connor laughed softly, giving the Mustang a gentle pat. "And if it's anything less than perfect, we'll just call it character," he joked, eliciting a soft chuckle from Alex, who nodded approvingly. With a nod from Michael, they rolled the Mustang out into the open air, the vehicle gleaming under the morning sun, its curves, panels, and gleaming engine reflecting the culmination of weeks of painstaking labor. Michael climbed into the driver's seat, Avery alongside him, Connor observing critical metrics, and Alex following closely on the Triumph, ready to provide support and guidance. The ignition key turned, and the V8 roared to life with a smooth, resonant growl that reverberated through the valley, a sound that carried the essence of the Mustang's history, the skill of the restorers, and the promise of the journey ahead. Michael eased the car forward, testing brakes, throttle, and steering response. Each component responded flawlessly, the careful tuning evident in the precise handling and responsive engine behavior. The team conducted a series of maneuvers, gradually increasing speed and testing cornering, suspension balance, and engine harmony, the Mustang performing beyond expectations, a testament to meticulous planning, skill, and collaboration. Avery monitored interior controls, ensuring that gauges, switches, and seating positions responded perfectly, while Connor noted the smooth operation of mechanical linkages and suggested minor tweaks to further enhance performance. Alex, following closely on his motorcycle, offered encouragement, insight, and immediate feedback, noting subtle improvements in engine tone and throttle response. After several laps and performance runs, they returned to the workshop, rolling the Mustang back into its familiar cradle, the engine purring contentedly, seemingly aware of its own accomplishment. Michael climbed out, wiping sweat from his brow, and allowed himself a moment of quiet satisfaction. "She's everything we hoped for," he said, his voice carrying both awe and pride. Avery adjusted the final interior components, ensuring alignment and functionality, and nodded. "Perfect harmony," she said softly. Connor laughed, shaking his head in amazement. "And to think, we started with a rusted hulk," he said, patting the fender affectionately. Alex leaned against the workbench, arms crossed, a satisfied smile on his face. "Scout's honor," he said quietly, "we saw it through." The remainder of the afternoon was spent fine-tuning minor details, documenting adjustments, cleaning the workshop, and preparing for the next restoration project, which they all knew would inevitably arrive at Rust Valley. As night fell, the valley bathed in silver moonlight, the Mustang rested at the center of the workshop, a symbol of skill, perseverance, and the shared passion of a team that had brought a forgotten icon back to life. Michael lingered at the doorway, gazing at the car, and felt a profound satisfaction that transcended the technical success. "Scout's honor," he thought, smiling to himself, "we've honored the past, celebrated our skill, and restored something that carries history in every bolt and curve. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new vehicles, and new triumphs, but tonight, the Mustang's purr echoed through the valley as a reminder of what dedication, ingenuity, and teamwork could achieve, a promise that every forgotten relic had a chance to roar again under the hands of Rust Valley restorers, and a quiet affirmation that in this valley, history and passion were inseparable, and every restoration carried the heartbeat of those who refused to let the past be forgotten. The following morning, Rust Valley was wrapped in a thin veil of mist, the workshop illuminated by the pale glow of early sun filtering through dusty windows, and the Mustang sat at the center like a dormant titan, its polished body reflecting the promise of the day ahead, ready for the next phase of testing and refinement that would push both the machine and the team to new heights. Michael was the first to arrive, carrying a well-worn notebook filled with precise observations, adjustments, and calculations from the previous day's test drive, his eyes scanning the car with an analytical intensity that spoke to his devotion to perfection. He crouched beside the engine bay, inspecting connections, checking fluid levels, and noting minor tweaks to carburetor alignment and ignition timing that would ensure absolute harmony between power and control. Avery arrived moments later, balancing her laptop, digital schematics, and a clipboard full of notes on interior ergonomics, dashboard calibrations, and electrical diagnostics, her mind already running through the checklist for the day: precise suspension tuning, brake response calibration, throttle harmonization, and interior adjustments that would optimize both performance and comfort. Connor followed, wheeling a cart laden with specialized tools, spare brackets, fasteners, and carefully labeled jigs, while Alex made his dramatic entrance on the Triumph, the motorcycle's engine growl cutting through the morning mist like a herald of productivity, tossing a set of fine-tuning instruments onto a bench with a flourish. "Morning, all," Alex called, sliding his goggles onto his forehead. "Time to see if our Mustang wants to show off what she's really made of." Avery shot him a measured glance, but did not reply immediately, already absorbed in aligning the driver's side seat and adjusting dashboard panels, while Connor grinned knowingly, muttering, "If she doesn't impress, you'll be first on the blame list," eliciting laughter that eased the tension in the workshop. Michael gathered the team, outlining the day's ambitious plan: precision testing of the suspension, fine-tuning throttle response, verifying brake performance under simulated conditions, and ensuring that interior controls, gauges, and fittings met both historical and functional standards, with the ultimate goal of achieving seamless integration between mechanical, electrical, and aesthetic systems. They moved into action with a well-rehearsed rhythm, the workshop alive with the clanging of metal, hissing of pneumatic tools, and the occasional burst of laughter or exclamation when a bolt or bracket proved resistant. Michael focused intensely on the engine, adjusting fuel-air ratios, fine-tuning the rear carburetors, and monitoring compression with meticulous attention, ensuring that each minor adjustment contributed to the overall harmony of performance. Avery concentrated on the interior, realigning dashboard panels, tightening fasteners, checking the operation of switches, and ensuring that seating positions and ergonomics provided both comfort and historical accuracy, her hands steady and precise, her eyes scanning every detail. Connor moved fluidly throughout the workshop, organizing tools, creating temporary jigs for alignment, and improvising solutions to unexpected minor issues, his energy infectious, blending enthusiasm with practical expertise. Alex offered historical insights and practical demonstrations, showing how subtle adjustments to linkage, throttle response, and suspension settings could enhance both performance and authenticity, sharing stories from vintage restorations that were part humor, part practical guidance. Hours passed in a seamless dance of skill, patience, and collaboration. Every adjustment, measurement, and calibration carried the weight of precision and the promise of success. By midday, suspension and steering alignment had been perfected, throttle response harmonized, brakes tuned to optimal function, and interior fittings fully operational, leaving the Mustang ready for a second, more extensive road test designed to push it through a range of conditions, from tight turns to extended straight-line acceleration. Michael wiped his hands on a rag, stepping back to admire the results, his eyes reflecting both pride and anticipation. "This is the moment," he said softly, "when all our work converges, and we see if theory becomes reality." Avery adjusted her final trim pieces and smiled faintly, her focus never leaving the interior. "Everything is calibrated," she said. "Now it's time to see her in action." Connor slapped the fender gently, grinning. "And if she doesn't perform, we'll have a long talk with her later," he joked, eliciting a chuckle from Alex, who nodded approvingly and added, "Scout's honor, this is what we've been waiting for." Carefully, the team rolled the Mustang out into the open air, the vehicle gleaming under the soft morning sun, its curves, lines, and polished engine reflecting the culmination of their tireless efforts. Michael climbed into the driver's seat, Avery alongside him, Connor observing critical metrics, and Alex trailing on the Triumph, ready to capture data and offer guidance. The ignition key turned, and the V8 roared to life, smooth, powerful, and resonant, vibrating through the chassis and echoing through the valley like the heartbeat of the machine itself. Michael eased the car forward, testing brakes, throttle, and steering, each system performing flawlessly, responding to every subtle adjustment with precision and grace. They navigated curves, executed acceleration tests, and assessed handling, the Mustang moving with a fluidity and responsiveness that exceeded expectations, a testament to the meticulous work and harmonious collaboration of Rust Valley restorers. Avery monitored interior systems, noting gauge accuracy, switch responsiveness, and seat alignment, while Connor observed mechanical linkages and brake response, offering suggestions for final tweaks that would perfect performance. Alex, following closely on his motorcycle, provided immediate feedback, noting engine tone, throttle response, and handling characteristics, ensuring that every variable was accounted for and optimized. After several test runs, they returned to the workshop, rolling the Mustang back into its cradle, the engine purring like a contented animal, each member of the team visibly satisfied with the results. Michael climbed out, wiping sweat from his brow, and allowed himself a rare moment of quiet pride. "She's everything we dreamed of," he said, voice tinged with awe. Avery adjusted the last interior panel, nodding in agreement. "Perfect harmony," she murmured. Connor laughed, shaking his head, amazed by the transformation. "And to think this started as a rusted relic," he said, patting the fender. Alex leaned against the bench, arms crossed, a satisfied smile on his face. "Scout's honor," he said quietly, "we did it." The remainder of the afternoon was devoted to documentation, final checks, cleaning the workshop, and preparing for the next restoration project that was certain to arrive, as it always did, at Rust Valley. Night fell over the valley, the stars reflecting in the Mustang's polished surface, the car resting like a sleeping giant, a testament to skill, perseverance, and the collective passion of a team that had brought history roaring back to life. Michael lingered at the doorway, gazing at the Mustang, feeling a profound satisfaction that went beyond technical achievement. "Scout's honor," he thought, smiling to himself, "we've honored the past, forged bonds, and resurrected something that carries history in every curve and bolt." Tomorrow would bring new challenges and fresh projects, but tonight, the Mustang's purr, and the quiet hum of the workshop were a reminder of what dedication, skill, and teamwork could achieve, and of the enduring thrill of giving forgotten machines a chance to roar boldly once again under the hands of Rust Valley restorers. The morning in Rust Valley arrived crisp and clear, the fog lifting from the hills to reveal a landscape bathed in soft gold light, and the workshop hummed with quiet anticipation as Michael, Avery, Connor, and Alex prepared to embark on a series of advanced tests and refinements that would push the Mustang to the limits of its restored capabilities, proving not only the skill of Rust Valley restorers but the enduring strength and integrity of the machine itself. Michael was already inside, crouched beside the engine bay, carefully checking fuel flow, ignition timing, and the synchronization of the rare carburetors they had painstakingly installed, each adjustment made with the precision of a watchmaker and the awareness that even the smallest miscalibration could compromise the delicate harmony of the V8. Avery arrived moments later, laptop open, notes in hand, scanning electrical schematics and interior specifications while measuring seat alignment, pedal travel, and the responsiveness of controls, her mind running through a checklist of tasks that would ensure that both driver and machine performed in perfect unison. Connor wheeled in a cart stacked with specialized tools, replacement brackets, fasteners, and custom jigs, each meticulously organized to ensure rapid response to any unforeseen challenge, while Alex roared in on his triumph, the motorcycle's engine growl slicing through the crisp morning air like an announcement of purpose, tossing a set of calibration tools onto the workbench with a flourish. "Morning, all," Alex called, sliding his goggles up and grinning, "time to see if our Mustang wants to prove herself today." Avery's eyes were already glued to the measurements on her laptop, not even looking up, while Connor chuckled softly, muttering, "If she misbehaves, Alex, you're the first on the list," earning a faint laugh from Michael and a smirk from Alex. Michael assembled the team, laying out the ambitious plan: advanced suspension tuning, throttle harmonization, precision braking tests, electrical diagnostics under load, and a final integration assessment to ensure that the Mustang performed flawlessly as a cohesive machine, each subsystem perfectly aligned with the others in both function and form. The team moved in concert, the workshop alive with the rhythmic sounds of metal, hissing air tools, and the occasional triumphant exclamation when a particularly tricky adjustment was achieved. Michael focused intensely on the engine, monitoring temperature, fuel delivery, and throttle response, making delicate tweaks to ensure that the V8 roared with power, yet remained responsive and controllable under every condition. Avery methodically adjusted interior components, confirming that gauges, switches, and controls responded instantly, that seating positions offered comfort without compromising control, and that every element reflected both historical authenticity and modern precision. Connor moved through the workshop like a conductor of a symphony, organizing tools, improvising solutions to minor problems, and offering practical assistance wherever required, his energy an essential complement to the careful focus of the team. Alex, as always, combined instruction with anecdotal guidance, demonstrating subtle techniques for enhancing throttle responsiveness, perfecting suspension alignment, and ensuring that historical details were not lost in the pursuit of performance. Hours passed in a seamless blend of skill, patience, and meticulous effort, the air rich with the scent of oil, polished metal, and fresh upholstery, punctuated by laughter, careful discussion, and the occasional exclamation when a stubborn component resisted alignment. By mid-afternoon, advanced testing was complete. The suspension handled precise curves flawlessly, throttle response was perfectly tuned, brakes engaged smoothly under varying loads, and interior components responded exactly as intended, leaving the Mustang ready for a more rigorous field test that would assess the integration of all systems under real-world conditions. Michael wiped his hands on a rag, stepping back to take in the result with quiet pride. "This is where it all comes together," he said softly. "Every adjustment, every measurement, every painstaking tweak, this is the moment we see it all in harmony." Avery smiled faintly, brushing a lock of hair from her eyes. "Everything is ready," she said. "Now we test not just the components, but the experience of the car as a whole." Connor laughed, patting the fender affectionately. "From Rust Bucket to Symphony on Wheels," he said, earning nods from the group. Alex leaned against the workbench, arms crossed, a satisfied glint in his eyes. "Scout's honor," he said, "we've brought her back to life." Carefully, the team rolled the Mustang out of the workshop, the vehicle glinting under the late afternoon sun, its bodywork, polished interior, and finely tuned engine reflecting the culmination of their tireless work. Michael climbed into the driver's seat, Avery alongside him, Connor ready to observe, and Alex trailing on his Triumph, prepared to provide guidance and assistance. The ignition key turned, and the V8 roared to life, a deep, resonant growl vibrating through the valley, echoing like a heartbeat that carried history, skill, and teamwork in its tone. Michael eased the car forward, testing brakes, steering, and throttle, each system responding flawlessly, the careful calibrations of the team evident in the smooth, precise operation. They drove through a series of increasingly demanding maneuvers, tight curves, extended straight-line acceleration, and braking tests, the Mustang performing with fluidity, responsiveness, and poise, its restored components working in perfect concert. Avery observed interior performance, noting gauge precision, pedal feedback, and switch responsiveness, while Connor monitored mechanical linkages, brake performance, and suspension response, offering suggestions for fine adjustments. Alex followed closely, his eyes and ears alert for subtle variations in engine tone, throttle reaction, and overall harmony, providing feedback that was both technical and historically informed. After several rigorous runs, the team returned to the workshop, rolling the Mustang back into its cradle, the engine purring like a contented predator, acknowledging both their effort and its own readiness. Michael stepped out, wiping sweat from his brow and allowing himself a rare moment of reflection and satisfaction. "She's beyond what we expected," he said, awe and pride mingling in his voice. Avery adjusted a final interior component, nodding. "Perfectly balanced," she said softly. Connor laughed, shaking his head, amazed at the transformation from rusted shell to flawless machine. Alex leaned back against the bench, smiling quietly. "Scout's honor," he said, "we did it. Every bolt, every panel, every calibration, everything came together." The rest of the afternoon was spent documenting every adjustment, cataloging tools, cleaning the workshop, and preparing for the next inevitable project that would find its way to Rust Valley. Night descended over the valley, stars twinkling above, and the Mustang rested like a sleeping giant, a symbol of perseverance, craftsmanship, and shared passion. Michael lingered at the doorway, gazing at the vehicle, the cool night air mixing with the familiar scent of oil and metal, and felt a deep satisfaction that transcended technical accomplishment. "Scout's honor," he thought, smiling to himself, "we've honored history, forged bonds, and resurrected something that carries the soul of the past in every curve, every bolt, and every roar." Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but tonight, the Mustang's purr, the quiet hum of the workshop, and the glow of the valley affirmed the power of dedication, skill, and teamwork, and the unending thrill of giving forgotten machines a second chance to roar boldly once again under the hands of Rust Valley restorers. The morning in Rust Valley arrived with an almost tangible sense of anticipation, the crisp air carrying a faint scent of pine and oil as the workshop stirred to life, the Mustang poised like a coiled spring, reflecting the golden light of dawn off its polished curves, and the team, Michael, Avery, Connor, and Alex, prepared to push the restored vehicle through a series of performance trials that would test the precision, endurance, and harmony of every system they had painstakingly rebuilt. Michael was the first to arrive, carrying his well-worn notebook filled with observations, engine data, and notes from previous tests, already planning adjustments to suspension dynamics, throttle response, and brake calibration. He crouched beside the engine bay, checking each line, connection, and mounting point, ensuring that every component was secure and operating within optimal tolerances. Avery arrived moments later, laptop open, schematic diagrams ready, digital calipers in hand, scanning dashboard instruments, seating alignments, and control responsiveness, mentally cross-referencing historical specifications with modern measurements to ensure the interior not only functioned flawlessly but retained every element of authenticity. Connor wheeled in a cart loaded with specialized tools, replacement brackets, spare fasteners, and makeshift jigs, each organized with a precision that mirrored the team's approach to restoration, while Alex roared in on the Triumph, the motorcycle's engine growl reverberating across the valley, announcing his presence as he tossed a set of fine-tuning instruments onto the bench with characteristic flair. "Morning, team," Alex called, sliding his goggles up and grinning. "Time to see if our Mustang is ready to show us what she's really made of." Avery didn't respond immediately, absorbed in aligning interior components and adjusting seat rails with meticulous attention, while Connor smirked, whispering, "If she misbehaves, Alex, you're getting the blame," prompting a soft chuckle from Michael and a knowing grin from Alex. Michael gathered the team to outline the day's ambitious agenda: rigorous suspension trials, precise engine and throttle tuning, brake performance assessments under load, electrical diagnostics during active operation, and a comprehensive integration test that would verify the harmonious function of every mechanical, electrical, and aesthetic element. The workshop came alive with focused energy, punctuated by the rhythmic clang of tools, the hiss of pneumatic instruments, and the occasional celebratory exclamation when a particularly stubborn adjustment finally clicked into place. Michael focused on engine fine-tuning, measuring compression, adjusting fuel flow, and calibrating the rear carburetors for optimal responsiveness, each micro-adjustment contributing to the overall balance of power, efficiency, and control. Avery concentrated on the interior, ensuring gauge accuracy, pedal travel, seating alignment, and the precise operation of switches, maintaining a perfect balance between historical fidelity and functional comfort. Connor moved through the space like an orchestrator, managing tools, improvising solutions to minor setbacks, and offering hands-on assistance wherever necessary, his energy bridging the gap between meticulous calculation and practical action. Alex provided historical insight and technical demonstration, showing subtle techniques for optimizing suspension geometry, throttle harmony, and overall integration while sharing anecdotes from past restorations that blended humor, history, and instruction in equal measure. Hours flowed seamlessly in a dance of precision, skill, and collaboration, the air thick with the scent of oil, polished metal, and freshly installed upholstery, punctuated by laughter, discussions, and the occasional exclamation when a stubborn bolt or calibration challenged the team's ingenuity. By early afternoon, the Mustang had passed every internal test, suspension geometry was precise, brakes responded perfectly. Throttle action was smooth and instantaneous, and interior systems functioned flawlessly, leaving the car primed for an extended field trial that would put all systems to the ultimate test in real-world conditions. Michael wiped his hands, stepping back to survey the result with satisfaction and anticipation. "This is the culmination of everything," he said, voice low and reverent. "All our effort, planning, and adjustment converge in this moment." Avery adjusted the final interior trim piece, a small satisfied smile tugging at her lips. "Everything is aligned," she said softly, "now we see if it performs as beautifully as it looks." Connor patted the Mustang's fender affectionately. "From rusted wreck to precision instrument," he said, laughter in his voice, "it's astonishing." Alex leaned against the workbench, arms crossed, his eyes gleaming with approval. "Scout's honor," he said quietly, "every bolt, every panel, every meticulous adjustment, it all paid off." With careful coordination, they rolled the Mustang out of the workshop into the sunlit valley, the vehicle gleaming, its polished surface reflecting the team's labor and the valley's natural beauty. Michael climbed into the driver's seat, Avery beside him, Connor monitoring instruments, and Alex following on his Triumph, ready to observe, capture data, and provide guidance. The ignition turned, and the V8 sprang to life, a deep, resonant growl vibrating through the chassis, echoing across the valley as if proclaiming the triumph of skill, patience, and teamwork. Michael eased the car forward, testing brakes, steering, and throttle, each system responding perfectly, every adjustment they had made manifesting in flawless operation. The team subjected the Mustang to a rigorous regimen, tight curves, long acceleration runs, braking under varying loads, and cornering assessments, the restored vehicle performing with fluidity, balance, and precision that surpassed expectation, a testament to the dedication and expertise of Rust Valley restorers. Avery monitored interior performance, noting control response, gauge accuracy, and comfort, while Connor observed mechanical linkages, brake response, and suspension reaction, offering final refinements to ensure optimal performance. Alex, on his motorcycle, observed and advised, noting subtle differences in engine tone, throttle feedback, and handling characteristics, providing critical guidance that merged technical precision with historical insight. After several rounds, they returned to the workshop, rolling the Mustang back into its cradle, the engine purring like a contented animal, acknowledging the culmination of effort and readiness for whatever lay ahead. Michael stepped out, sweat dampening his brow, and allowed himself a moment of reflection and quiet pride. "She's beyond what we imagined," he said, awe and satisfaction in his voice. Avery adjusted a final interior fitting and nodded. "Perfect balance," she murmured. Connor laughed, marveling at the transformation from rusted shell to precision machine. Alex leaned against the workbench, arms crossed, a satisfied grin on his face. "Scout's honor," he said softly, "we did it." Every adjustment, every measure, every detail, all of it came together. The remainder of the day was spent cataloging tools, documenting adjustments, cleaning the workshop, and preparing for the next inevitable restoration project that would arrive at Rust Valley. Night fell over the valley, stars reflecting on the Mustang's polished surface, the car resting like a sleeping giant, embodying skill, perseverance, and the collective passion of a team that had brought history roaring back to life. Michael lingered at the doorway, breathing in the crisp night air mingled with the familiar scent of metal and oil, feeling a profound satisfaction that transcended technical achievement. "Scout's honor," he thought, smiling softly, "we've honored the past, forged bonds, and resurrected something that carries history in every bolt, curve, and purr." Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but tonight, the Mustang's low rumble and the quiet hum of the workshop were reminders of what dedication, skill, and teamwork could accomplish, and of the enduring thrill of giving forgotten machines a second chance to roar boldly once more under the hands of Rust Valley restorers. The sun rose over Rust Valley with a gentle warmth, filtering through the workshop windows and illuminating the Mustang, which gleamed like a jewel at the center of the space, the culmination of countless hours of labor, precision, and collaboration, and the team, Michael, Avery, Connor, and Alex, prepared for what would be the most intensive series of performance and endurance tests they had ever undertaken, a day designed not just to measure the car's mechanical soundness but to push every system to its limits and ensure that the restored machine could perform flawlessly in real-world conditions. Michael was the first to arrive, notebook in hand, filled with meticulous observations, calibrations, and strategies for fine-tuning the engine, carburetors, suspension, and braking system, while crouching beside the engine bay, checking fluid levels, mounting points, and mechanical linkages, making minor adjustments that would ensure absolute harmony among all components. Avery followed shortly after, her laptop open, schematics and diagnostic software ready, digital calipers and measurement tools at her side, her mind already running through a checklist that included interior ergonomics, electrical system verification, switch responsiveness, seating alignment, and instrumentation calibration, each adjustment carefully designed to enhance both driver comfort and historical authenticity. Connor wheeled in a cart laden with specialized tools, spare fasteners, brackets, and custom jigs, each meticulously labeled and organized for quick deployment, while Alex roared in on the Triumph, the motorcycle's engine growl cutting through the morning air like a herald, tossing a collection of precision instruments and tuning devices onto a workbench with practiced flair. "Morning, all," Alex called, sliding his goggles up and grinning. "Let's see if our Mustang can truly show us what she's capable of today." Avery barely glanced up, absorbed in adjusting dashboard panels and checking pedal travel, while Connor smirked, whispering, "If she misbehaves, Alex, you're on notice," prompting a quiet laugh from Michael and a playful grin from Alex. Michael gathered the team, outlining the ambitious agenda for the day: comprehensive suspension and steering tests, precise engine calibration under load, brake performance verification at multiple speeds, electrical diagnostics under continuous operation, and a full integration assessment to confirm that every mechanical, electrical, and aesthetic system worked flawlessly as a unified whole. The team moved in concert, the workshop alive with the rhythmic clang of tools, the hiss of pneumatic instruments, and occasional exclamations of triumph when particularly stubborn adjustments finally yielded. Michael focused on the engine, checking compression, adjusting fuel delivery, fine-tuning carburetor synchronization, and monitoring throttle response with meticulous precision, ensuring that the V8 roared with power yet remained perfectly controllable. Avery concentrated on the interior, verifying gauge accuracy, seating ergonomics, switch responsiveness, and pedal alignment, balancing historical fidelity with functional performance, each adjustment made with a careful, practiced hand. Connor moved fluidly through the workshop, orchestrating the flow of tools, improvising solutions to minor setbacks, and providing hands-on assistance where needed, his energy both infectious and essential to the smooth execution of the plan. Alex provided guidance, historical insight, and practical demonstration, showing subtle techniques for enhancing suspension geometry, throttle response, and interior ergonomics, while sharing stories of past restorations that combined humor, technical knowledge, and practical lessons. Hours passed in seamless collaboration, the air rich with the scent of oil, polished metal, and fresh upholstery, punctuated by laughter, careful discussion, and occasional exclamations when a component resisted alignment or calibration. By early afternoon, the Mustang had passed every internal diagnostic and subsystem test. Suspension geometry was exact, brakes responded precisely under multiple loads, throttle action was smooth and instantaneous, and interior systems functioned flawlessly, leaving the car ready for a full field test on varied terrain to evaluate real-world performance and driver experience. Michael wiped his hands and stepped back, surveying the result with quiet satisfaction and anticipation. "This is where all our work converges," he said softly, reverent. "Every adjustment, every meticulous measurement, every hour of labor, now we see if it translates into harmony on the road." Avery adjusted a final trim piece, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "Everything is calibrated," she said. "Now it's time to see her in action." Connor patted the fender affectionately. "From rusted hulk to precision instrument," he said, laughter in his voice, "it's astonishing." Alex leaned against the workbench, arms crossed, eyes gleaming. "Scout's honor," he said quietly, "every bolt, every panel, every meticulous adjustment, it all paid off." Carefully, the team rolled the Mustang out into the valley, the vehicle gleaming under the sun, its polished body and finely tuned engine reflecting weeks of dedication and skill. Michael climbed into the driver's seat, Avery beside him, Connor monitoring instruments, and Alex following closely on the Triumph, ready to observe, capture data, and provide guidance. The ignition key turned, and the V8 sprang to life with a deep, resonant growl, vibrating through the chassis and echoing across the valley like the heartbeat of the machine itself. Michael eased the car forward, testing brakes, steering, and throttle, each system responding flawlessly, a testament to the team's precise work. They subjected the Mustang to a series of increasingly challenging maneuvers, tight corners, long acceleration runs, controlled braking, and high-speed handling, the car moving with fluidity, balance, and precision that exceeded expectations, demonstrating the full success of the restoration effort. Avery observed interior performance, noting control response, gauge accuracy, and comfort, while Connor monitored mechanical linkages, suspension performance, and brake response, offering suggestions for minor refinements to further enhance performance. Alex, trailing closely, noted subtle variations in engine tone, throttle reaction, and handling characteristics, providing critical feedback that was both technical and historically informed. After multiple rounds, the team returned to the workshop, rolling the Mustang back into its cradle, the engine purring contentedly, acknowledging the culmination of effort and readiness for whatever challenges lay ahead. Michael stepped out, wiping sweat from his brow, and allowed himself a rare moment of reflection and satisfaction. "She's beyond what we imagined," he said, awe and pride evident in his voice. Avery adjusted the last interior fitting, nodding. "Perfectly balanced," she murmured. Connor laughed softly, marveling at the transformation from a rusted shell to a precision machine. Alex leaned back against the bench, arms crossed, a satisfied smile on his face. "Scout's honor," he said softly, "we did it. Every adjustment, every measurement, every detail, all of it came together. The rest of the afternoon was spent documenting adjustments, cataloging tools, cleaning the workshop, and preparing for the next inevitable restoration project that would find its way to Rust Valley. Night descended over the valley, stars reflecting in the Mustang's polished surface, the car resting like a sleeping giant, embodying the skill, perseverance, and collective passion of a team that had resurrected history. Michael lingered at the doorway, inhaling the crisp night air mingled with the scent of oil and metal, feeling a profound satisfaction that transcended technical accomplishment. Scout's honor, he thought, smiling quietly, we've honored the past, forged bonds, and resurrected something that carries history in every curve, every bolt, and every resonant roar. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and projects, but tonight, the Mustang's low hum and the quiet of the workshop were reminders of what dedication, skill, and teamwork could achieve, and of the enduring thrill of giving forgotten machines a chance to roar boldly once more under the hands of Rust Valley restorers. The morning dawned over Rust Valley with an almost reverent stillness, the early sun casting a warm glow across the workshop, and the gleaming Mustang resting at its center, a masterpiece born of rust, determination, and the tireless dedication of Michael, Avery, Connor, and Alex, each of whom approached the day with a quiet understanding that this final phase would mark the culmination of everything they had poured into the project, a comprehensive performance review, endurance testing, and the final steps of refinement that would guarantee not only flawless mechanics, but a driving experience worthy of the Mustang's legacy. Michael arrived first, notebook in hand, its pages filled with meticulous observations, calibration notes, and adjustments from the previous series of tests, already crouching by the engine bay to verify fuel lines, ignition timing, and carburetor synchronization, every micro-adjustment a bridge between precision engineering and artistry. Avery arrived shortly after, laptop open, diagnostic software running, digital calipers in hand, and a clipboard full of checklists, scanning interior alignment, pedal travel, switch responsiveness, and seating ergonomics, cross-referencing historical specifications with modern measurements to ensure every element was both accurate and fully functional. Connor wheeled in a cart loaded with tools, spare fasteners, replacement brackets, and custom jigs, each item meticulously organized for immediate deployment, while Alex roared into the workshop on his Triumph, the motorcycle's engine growl cutting through the quiet morning air like a call to action, tossing his collection of fine-tuning instruments onto the bench with characteristic flair. Morning, everyone, Alex called, sliding his goggles up and smiling broadly. Let's see if our Mustang is ready to show us the full extent of her soul today. Avery barely glanced up, absorbed in final interior adjustments and measurement verifications, while Connor grinned and muttered, if she misbehaves, Alex, the honor is yours, drawing a quiet laugh from Michael and a playful smirk from Alex. Michael convened the team, outlining the ambitious agenda, full integration testing of all systems, endurance runs to evaluate engine stability and suspension reliability, precise calibration of brakes and throttle under varying loads, electrical diagnostics under active operation, and a final assessment of the interior's ergonomics and operational fidelity, ensuring the Mustang would perform flawlessly in every condition and carry forward the heritage of its design. The team moved with synchronized precision, the workshop alive with the metallic rhythm of tools, the hiss of pneumatic instruments, and the occasional burst of laughter or triumphant exclamation as particularly stubborn components yielded to skillful adjustment. Michael concentrated on the engine, monitoring compression, fuel delivery, and throttle response, making delicate adjustments to the rare carburetors that defined the Mustang's character, each modification carefully calculated to optimize both power and control without compromising the integrity of the vintage components. Avery meticulously verified interior systems, aligning seats, calibrating switches, confirming gauge accuracy, and testing pedal response, each action ensuring a seamless interface between driver and machine, a blend of historical fidelity and functional excellence. Connor moved efficiently between stations, managing tools, improvising solutions to minor issues, and providing hands-on assistance wherever required, his energy complementing the precision and focus of the team. Alex provided historical insights, technical demonstrations, and subtle guidance, showing how minor adjustments in suspension geometry, throttle response, and interior alignment could harmonize the performance of the Mustang while sharing anecdotes from past restorations that were part humor, part practical wisdom. Hours passed in a seamless interplay of focus, skill, and teamwork, the air rich with the scent of oil, metal, and fresh upholstery, punctuated by laughter, discussion, and the occasional cheer when a particularly challenging calibration was achieved. By mid-afternoon, all internal diagnostics were complete, all subsystems verified, and the Mustang was ready for the ultimate field test, a series of extended runs over mixed terrain designed to test the car's endurance, handling, and performance under real-world conditions, integrating every refinement, adjustment, and improvement made over weeks of labor. Michael wiped his hands, stepping back and surveying the Mustang with quiet pride. "This is it," he murmured. "All our work converges now, and we get to see if theory and labor translate into a perfect experience on the road." Avery adjusted a final interior component, smiling faintly. "Everything is ready," she said softly, "now we see her in motion." Connor patted the Mustang's fender, a wide grin on his face. "From forgotten relic to a living machine," he said, laughter in his tone, "it's breathtaking." Alex leaned against a bench, arms crossed, a satisfied gleam in his eyes. "Scout's honor," he said quietly, "we've seen it through." Carefully, the team rolled the Mustang out of the workshop, the sun casting sharp shadows across the polished bodywork and engine, the vehicle gleaming like a living testament to the power of dedication and teamwork. Michael climbed into the driver's seat, Avery alongside him, Connor positioned to monitor key metrics, and Alex following closely on the Triumph, ready to observe, provide guidance, and document performance. The ignition key turned, and the V8 roared to life, smooth, resonant, and powerful, the sound echoing across the valley like a proclamation of achievement, a voice that carried the history, skill, and shared passion of those who had breathed life back into it. Michael eased the car forward, testing brakes, throttle, and steering, each system responding flawlessly, every adjustment reflecting the harmony of a team that had invested not only skill but heart into this restoration. They navigated complex turns, accelerated along stretches of open road, and executed braking tests under varying conditions, the Mustang performing with fluidity, precision, and poise that surpassed all expectations, demonstrating the full success of the team's efforts. Avery monitored interior systems closely, ensuring that gauges, switches, and controls responded instantly, while Connor observed mechanical linkages, suspension behavior, and brake performance, offering minor refinements to perfect the experience. Alex, riding closely, evaluated subtle variations in engine tone, throttle response, and handling characteristics, providing feedback that was both technically precise and historically informed. After numerous rigorous laps, the team returned to the workshop, rolling the Mustang back into its cradle, the engine purring contentedly as if acknowledging its restored vitality and readiness for any challenge. Michael stepped out, sweat on his brow, and allowed himself a rare moment of reflection and satisfaction. "She's everything we dreamed of, and more," he said, awe and pride evident in his voice. Avery adjusted the final interior fitting and nodded. "Perfect balance," she murmured softly. Connor laughed, marveling at the transformation from rusted shell to a precision, living machine. Alex leaned back against a bench, arms crossed, a satisfied grin on his face. "Scout's honor," he said quietly, "every measure, every adjustment, every hour, all of it came together." The rest of the day was spent documenting every adjustment, cataloging tools, cleaning the workshop, and preparing for the next inevitable restoration project that would arrive at Rust Valley, a reminder that the work of preserving history was never finished. Night fell over the valley, stars reflecting off the Mustang's polished surface, the vehicle resting like a sleeping giant, a monument to skill, perseverance, and collective passion. Michael lingered at the doorway, inhaling the cool night air mingled with the familiar sense of metal and oil, feeling a profound satisfaction that transcended technical achievement. "Scout's honor," he thought quietly, smiling, "we've honored the past, strengthened our bonds, and resurrected something that carries history in every curve, every bolt, and every resonant roar." Tomorrow would bring new projects and challenges, but tonight, the Mustang's deep purr and the quiet hum of the workshop were a testament to the enduring power of dedication, teamwork, and the thrill of giving forgotten machines the chance to roar boldly once again under the hands of Rust Valley restorers, a legacy secured by passion, precision, and the Scouts' unwavering honor.